immense pleasure and pride that we gather here today for the inauguration of one-week faculty development program on GenGeo AI, synergizing creative AI, GIS, and smart technologies for sustainable agriculture. I, Dr. Snehika Shrivastava, on behalf of IPS College of Technology and Management, feel honored in welcoming you all. In this faculty development program, some of very useful yet a bit difficult topic will be dealt. The renowned professor, a subject expert from the reputed institution, will be conducting session and giving presentation on chosen subjects. I take this opportunity to extend my sincere gratitude to AICTE Training and Learning Atal Academy Scheme, New Delhi, for granting this program to our institution. I do hope you all will be benefited by the knowledge inputs from the subject experts. Each one of it will be interactive knowledge sharing platform. You have the opportunity to get clarification should you have any gray area. Thank you all for joining us on this occasion. Now let's proceed for the inaugural session. I would like to invite Principal, IPS College of Technology and Management, Dr. Anurag Garg, to present welcome address. Sir.
Thank you, Snehika ma'am. Good evening, all of you. It is indeed a privilege for me to welcome you all. On behalf of the management of IPS Group of Colleges and IPS College of Technology and Management, in particular to the inaugural function of the Faculty Development Program on Generative AI, GIS, and Smart Technologies and Sustainable Agriculture. At the outset, I feel it is a great honor for us to have Professor Bhartendu K. Singh, Director, Triple ITDM Jabalpur, who has graciously accepted our invitation to inaugurate this FDP. Thank you, sir. I must also add that the presence of all of you in this Atal FDP will add immense value to the program. We are pleased to welcome our esteemed speakers who have taken the time to share their expertise with us. Your insights and knowledge will inspire and guide us through the upcoming sessions. We deeply appreciate the interest shown by the participants from various organizations. Your presence and enthusiasm will enrich the discussion and pave the way for meaningful outcomes. This faculty development program aims to enhance the knowledge of participants in the generative AI and its applications in agriculture. Its objective is to introduce the fundamentals and advancement in the generative AI, GIS-based data analysis, smart sensors, IoT devices, and IoT algorithms, while exploring sustainable solutions. Over the next 6 days, we will witness thought-provoking sessions, insightful presentations, and interactive workshops that promise to spark new ideas and foster collaboration. Once again, I extend a warm welcome to all of you. Let us work together to make this gathering a resounding success. Thank you, and I look forward to an engaging and fruitful exchange of ideas. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now, before start, we all must be briefed about the faculty development program. So for this, I would like to call Mr. Raju Sharma, coordinator of the FDP, to present the outline of the program. Sir.
Thank you, madam. Respected dignitaries, distinguished guests, esteemed speakers and delegates and participants. A very warm good evening to all of you. It's my privilege to address you as a coordinator of faculty development program on GenGeo AI, synergizing generative AI, GIS, and smart technologies for sustainable agriculture. Organized by IPS College of Technology and Management Gwalior and sponsored by the Atal Academy. This 6-day intensive training initiative is designed to empower faculty members, researchers, and professionals with cutting-edge knowledge and practical skills in the integration of GenAI, geographic information system, and smart technologies in the domain of sustainable agriculture. The FDP is structured over 6 days, featuring a blend of expert lectures, panel discussions, and online tests. A total of 13 sessions will be conducted as follows. From Monday to Friday, the timings will be 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And on Saturday, the timing will be 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. The primary objective of this FDP is to enrich participants' understanding of Gen AI and its applications in the agriculture domain. We are delighted to host over 200 participants from different corners of country, representing diverse academic, research, and industry backgrounds. Their contributions, ranging from advanced research to case studies and industry insights, bring richness, depth, and a truly collaborative spirit to this program. By the end of this FDP, participants will be able to understand and apply the core principles of generative AI and explore its relevance in modern agriculture and rural innovation. Applying spatial data using GIS and remote sensing tools for precision agriculture and environmental monitoring. This FDP marks a significant step toward fostering innovation, skill enhancement, and knowledge sharing among academia and industry. With the support of Atal Academy, this initiative aims to contribute meaningfully to the professional growth of faculty members and researchers working in the agriculture domain. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the management for unconditional support and motivating us for organizing such beautiful programs. I would like I would like to extend my gratitude to the organizing committee, resource persons, volunteers, and sponsors for their tireless efforts in the bringing this event to the life. Their commitment and support have made this program possible. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for giving detailed information. Now, we are privileged to have Professor Bhartendu Kumar Singh, Director, IIITDM, Jabalpur, among us. And we eagerly look forward to the words of wisdom and insight he will share with our audience. But before his speech, I take this opportunity to present biosketch of Professor Bhartendu Kumar Singh. Professor Bhartendu Kumar Singh passed his BSc in Physics honor from Ellen Mithila University, Darbhanga, MSc in Physics from Magad University, Bodh Gaya, and PhD from Banaras Hindu University in the year 1986, 89, and 95, respectively. Sir has more than 15 years of teaching and more than 25 years of research experience. Sir has also performed various administrative roles as Project Coordinator, STRIDE, University Grant Commission, Coordinator, Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Banaras Hindu University, Member, National Education Policy, NAP 2020, Implementation Plan on Research, Innovation and Ranking, University Grant Commission, Member Institution of Eminence, IOE, Governing Body, BHU, 2020 onwards, and many more. Dr. Singh has guided 10 PhD as a supervisor, 2 as a co-supervisor, and 12 postdoc. He has 200 plus publication to his credit. His experiences and expertise promise to leave an indelible mark on our heart and minds. So please join me in giving a resounding and heartfelt welcome to our guest of honor, Professor Bhartendu Kumar Singh. It's over to you, sir.
So thank you very much for giving the details of my academic background to our dear participants. So first and foremost, I would like to thank the organizing committee and the management for extending this invitation to IIIT DM Jabalpur. As a director of this institute and on behalf of our family, we are very much thankful for this invitation. As I see this Atal AICT sponsored FDP program is based on generative AI and its application to agriculture sector. As we know that our country is more or less agricultural based, and if we look at our agricultural background, then what we found that still we are in a conventional way. Our farmers are going and cultivating their in a conventional manner. So the use of application of generative AI into this sustainable agriculture or precision agriculture is the need of today's you know time for our farmers. So I'm pretty sure that the menu what I think organizers said a few minutes back to our participant are full of different topics which can be helpful for the participant who are working in different institutions across the country. So I'm pretty sure that during this 6-day deliberation in the evening time, to you that you will get enhanced knowledge in terms of generative AI and how it can be implemented into this agriculture sector. What I see that all participant through this FDP would play a major role as an ambassador. And once you get the enhanced knowledge through this FDP, then you go to your different places across the country, and then you are able to share your knowledge, your wisdom to the farmers. Or so by this way, I think we can build our nation. And you know that in every field, whether it's agriculture or other sector, without AI, without machine learning, without deep learning and all this, this latest innovative technology, we cannot think of our life. So with this word, I would not take much time, and only I wish that my message to the all dear participants that please do the sincerely attend all the lectures given by the eminent expert from different institutions, what they will deliver it to you. Interact with our experts member so that you can have good knowledge on generative AI. So with this word, I would not take much time, and I give it back to the organizers to start their program. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation in a short period of time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for gracing us with your presence and for sharing your invaluable insight with us. Your words will undoubtedly leave a lasting impact on all of us. Now, today we have the honor of inviting a visionary leader, an educator par excellence, and the guiding force behind our institution, our respected director, IPS Group of Colleges, Dr. Arun Kumar Tyagi, to address the audience. So please. And Director sir has joined.
Sir, you are muted.
Yes.
Is it okay now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, sorry for joining late because of some technical problem at my home. Distinguished guests, esteemed faculty members, and dear participants, it's my immense pleasure to welcome you all to this one-week faculty development program, which is being organized by IPS College of Technology and Management, and which is being funded by Atal Academy. The convergence of emerging technologies such as generative artificial intelligence, geographic information system, which is GIS, and smart technologies is reshaping the landscape of sustainable agriculture, opening new avenues of innovation, efficiency, and environmental stewardship. This FDP serves as a significant platform designed to empower faculty members with advanced knowledge, practical exposure, and contemporary skills. The sessions incorporated expert talks, interactive discussions, hands-on workshops, which aim to enrich academic understanding while bridging the gap between theoretical framework and real-world industrial applications. I extend my sincere gratitude to Atal Academy for their continued support and encouragement in making this program possible. I also appreciate the dedication of our esteemed speakers, organizing team, and enthusiastic participants whose collective effort will surely contribute to the success of this program. I encourage all participants to engage actively, exchange perspectives, and make the most of this opportunity for professional growth, research enhancement, and academic excellence. Together, let us contribute towards shaping a sustainable and technologically empowered agricultural future. Wishing you all a fruitful, insightful, and enriching learning experience. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your motivating words, which are always inspiring for us. Now, I invite Organizing Secretary, Mr. Vineet Raj Singh Kushwaha, to propose vote of thanks.
On behalf of IPS College of Technology and Management and Organizing Committee, I, Vineet Raj Singh Kushwaha, would like to propose the vote of thanks to each and everyone who have contributed in the overwhelming success of inauguration of 6 days this Atal-sponsored FDP program. A leader is someone who creates an event, but team members essentially brings life to it. I thank the guest of honors of today's program, Professor Bhartendu Kumar Singh, Director of PDPM, Indian Institute of Information Technology, Design and Manufacturing, Jabalpur. In spite of his busy schedule, accepted our invitation and came here to grace this event. I am thankful to the management of IPS Group of Colleges, Chairperson Srimati Shobha Mishra, Director Arun Kumar Tyagi, Working President Mr. Aswini Mishra, CAO Mr. P.K. Ghosh for the guidance and tremendous support in all the means. I extend my thanks to the Principal, Dr. Anurag, Dean Academics, Dr. Jyoti Mishra, for their guidance and support for making it convenient to organize this program. I also would like to thank AICTE Atal Academy, sponsor of this program, for the financial support. My grateful thanks to all the participants for being enthusiastic, patient, and interactive. I once again thank everyone for their cooperation. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. So, now we are proceeding for our first session. But before our first session, I invite Ms. Deepanjali Dhanu to read guidelines to our audience.
Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry for the inconvenience caused due to some technical error. Am I visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, am I visible?
Yes.
Okay. There are some general rules involved in the Atal Academy and Faculty Development Program. The participant guidelines are as follows. The general rules and regulations are: the participants must join the FDP using the registered email ID and full name as the Atal records. As follows: all the sessions will be conducted online and participants must ensure a stable internet connection. Participants are expected to maintain professional etiquette, keep mics muted unless invited, and participate actively in discussions. Sharing meeting links, IDs, or study materials with non-registered individuals is strictly prohibited. Participants must keep their video on whenever instructed by the coordinator or Atal representative. As per AICTE and Atal guidelines, participants must maintain at least 80% attendance across all sessions. Attendance will be recorded through LMS Google Form, Atal Portal attendance, and session-wise verification by organization. Failure to achieve 80% attendance will make the participants ineligible for the certificate. Mandatory session feedback. Feedback after each session is compulsory. Session-wise feedback form must be filled within an hour after the session ends. Incomplete or delayed feedback will be counted as absent for that session. Daily feedback plus final feedback both are required for successful completion. Final assessment test. After completion of all sessions, a final assessment test will be conducted online. Participants must score minimum 70% marks in the test to qualify for the certificate. The test may include multiple choice questions, scenario based questions, questions related to deepfake, cybersecurity, defamation laws, privacy, AI ethics, etc. Certificate eligibility. A participant will receive the AICTE Atal FDP completion certificate only if they fulfill all the requirements. Minimum 80% attendance, submission of all session feedbacks on time, 70% or above in the final assessment test, submission of final feedback form. Participants not meeting the above requirements will not receive the certificate as per AICTE Atal guidelines. Communication and support. All official updates will be shared in the WhatsApp group. Participants should regularly check messages and email. Contact details of coordinators should be provided by the organization. Code of conduct. Respect all speakers and participants. Avoid disruptive behavior or misuse of the chat box. Sharing copyrighted materials or recording sessions without permissions is not allowed. Any violation may lead to removal from the FDP. Thank you. Now I would like to hand over to Mrs. Dr. Snehalika Srivastav. Have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. So now we are
You're
proceeding.
welcome.
So now we are proceeding for first session of this FDP. We are privileged to have Professor Shubho Paul, Assistant Professor, IIT, Banaras Hindu University with us. I invite Professor Shubho Paul to deliver his talk on AI-enabled management of farming electrical system for sustainable agriculture. Before his talk, I would like to brief about him. Dr. Shubho Paul received the ME degree in electrical engineering from Jadavpur University, Kolkata in 2016 and a PhD degree in electrical engineering from the Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee in 2021. He is currently an assistant professor with the Department of Electrical Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, BHU, Varanasi. Before that, he worked as postdoctoral research associate at Washington State University, USA. He has published more than 50 peer-reviewed research articles on the topic of electrical system management and the application of artificial intelligence and soft computing techniques in various electrical networks. Dr. Paul was a recipient of University Gold Medal for standing first in order of merit in the ME degree from Jadavpur University in 2016. He was awarded the Grid India Power System Award 2024 under the doctoral category of outstanding work by the Grid Controller of India Limited. He received the Prime Minister Early Career Research Grant 2025 awarded by Anusandhan National Research Foundation ANRF to carry out research on the electrical distribution network. He was also the recipient of several Best Paper Awards in different national, international, IEEE conferences. Now it's time to hear from our speaker, Dr. Shubho Paul. Shubho Paul. It's over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the nice introduction. And yeah, let me share my screen. 1 minute. Can you please allow me to share screen like it is showing that host disabled the.
Oh, Vineet sir, please make him as a co-host.
Sushil sir, please make Paul
Allowed,
sir to.
sir. Allowed, sir.
Okay. Paul sir, you are
No,
allowed.
it is no. It is still showing that it is disabled.
Okay. Sushil sir, please check once again.
Yeah, allowed, sir.
Yes,
Allowed,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, now I can do. Okay, so is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today I will talk about one aspect of agriculture that is not much focused, especially in our country, and that is the farming electrical system. Mostly in agriculture, we talk about the crop production and mainly how to cultivate the crops, the seeds, the fertilizers, those things. But another integrated part of the agriculture system is the electrical systems and how it is integrated with the agriculture, that I will try to focus on how AI makes our life easier to tackle with the hurdles of this sustainable agriculture problems, that I will focus today. And before moving towards, we'll see that why we need this, why we need a sustainable agriculture, and why we need electrical system as well with the agriculture system. So if you can see, these are the 17 goals set by UNO, United Nations, that how to make the life of the human or other species in this world easier. So if you can see, there are total 17 goals, and in between, obviously, the second is the zero hunger, means our agriculture system has to be self-sufficient, that we can cultivate that much amount of crop, that it can fulfill the need of all the people in our mother earth. And the seventh one, if you can see, that is the affordable and clean energy. That means whatever energy production we do for any other aspect, that may be for the agriculture or any other application area, that has to be from the clean energy. Because as we all know that we are on the verge of a very drastically worsening climatic condition, and everywhere we are seeing the effect of it, of global warming and other natural calamities. So what the electrical system they are trying to do, that other than the conventional fossil fuel based power generation, where mainly we rely on coal or natural gas or oil to produce the electricity, why don't we shift towards the renewable energy? That you also may have witnessed the solar panels or the wind farms like this. So these two things are now integrated, and mainly we see that how agriculture electrical systems, or the electrical supply to the agriculture systems, now can be changed or now can be replaced with the clean energy systems. So first, how this paradigm shift we have seen in the agriculture sector, that previously it is obviously the manual or animal driven system, but now we have tractors which are obviously an electrical systems. Then we have electrification of the irrigation system. Then all the farming processes, let's say it is maybe the harvesting process or post harvesting process, everything has been automatic or maybe automated by using of the machines. And all the machines, they are mainly run through the electrical energy. So what are the impacts we have seen because of this integration of agricultural system and the electrical system? Obviously, there are both sides, that is the pros and the cons. The pros is the productivity gains. That means within a very short time or within a very less amount of land, we can produce more amount of crop. The labor intensity has been reduced, that the work of a 10 persons can be done through one machine, and now it can be it is very easily done. Then the post-harvest loss reduction, that means after the post-harvesting, if it is a man-handled process, then there is obviously there is a process of human error, and that can reduce your net yield production. And your resilience and equity issues, that mostly that is comes under your, you can say, one of the cons, that this electrical machines, whatever these tractors or post harvesting machines, those are not very cheap of price. Those are very costlier machines. So a small farmer cannot adapt or cannot buy it for their land. So mostly what happens, that who is rich, they can buy those things and they can increase their production, but the small farmers, they still has to rely on their human process. That is one thing. Second is that the demand, that if you come, there is two aspect. One is the agriculture aspect. So above 4 is your agriculture aspect. That may be pros or cons. But we come to the electrical system, because there are two systems. So how the electrical system is also been affected by this. If you see that, if you increase the load on the electrical system, obviously by adding more and more agricultural load in terms of maybe your irrigation system, or maybe the charging of your, or your production of your tractors, that will create, or that will overburden the electrical system, and that cause for the upgradation of the electrical system as well. So that is more or less stressing the existing electrical network. And if we see that the environmental aspect, then obviously that power is coming from our thermal power plant. That is at least the present scenario. Most of the power we are produce, that is from the thermal power plant. So ultimately we are trying to reduce the emission, but because of this extra load, we are increasing the emission, right? So that is, again, we are you can say that overburdening or our climate, that we want to reduce, because we are electrifying the agriculture system to reduce the use of diesel. That if you have a diesel generator in place to run your irrigation system, and now you want to replace it with a direct electrical connection motor or motor, but now what you are doing, you are reducing the use of the diesel at the electrical agricultural field, but that much of cold you are burning at your thermal power plant. That means ultimately the average of the fossil fuel burning keeps constant. So that is not desirable. So if we see the present scenario of electrical consumption by agriculture sector in India, it is the third largest shareholder in our country, that is in fiscal year 2024 and 2025. Almost 17% of the electrical energy is consumed by, consumed by the agriculture sector, and that has been like, it is before, like just after your industrial and the residential sector. And you can see the trend that keeps on like increasing, like from if you see the last 12 years statistics, that every year it is increasing only, it is not decreasing. That means we are adapting, or we are integrating more and more electrical pumps and in the rural areas. And most of the cases, the 70% of the agricultural load, that is actually your irrigation pump. So if we can make that irrigation pump to be sustainable, then both the systems, your agriculture system, that also can be benefited, and also your climatic condition can also be improved. So why we need to do it? Because in our country, Indian government is very aggressive for this renewable power sector, and we have a goal of integrating almost 500 gigawatt of renewable energy by 2030, and in between that, 300 gigawatt will come from only solar energy. And this is actually, you can say, that total solar integration, that mainly in the industrial sector, residential sector, agriculture sector, and transport, and your lighting, like street lighting, everything cumulative, that is total 300 gigawatt. But the major focus is mostly on the residential and the agricultural and the industrial sector. So before moving towards that, what is the benefit of electrical system with the agriculture? I hope that most of the people of this in this FDP are not from electrical background. So I will give a very brief introduction of what is this electrical grid. Like I'm saying electrical system, but what is this system is all about. Electrical system or electrical grid is like a pool, like a pond kind of thing, where the power comes and that has been put in a pond, and then from there you can also take out energy. It is like an you know, in a village you have a pond, so some inflow of the water is also there and outflow of the water is also there. Outflow, or you can say the villagers, they take also water from there. So it is a, you can say it's a balanced area, where if the inflow is reduced but the outflow has been increased, that means the pond will become dry. And if the inflow is more and outflow is less, that means it will overflow. So this is the same case for electrical grid, that always the inflow and the outflow has to be balanced. And mainly the generation has been done mostly in our country, that is from the thermal power generator, but we are aggressively integrating wind power and solar power in the grid. And the as a customer, as we industrial sectors and all the other consumers, they actually take out from the grid. So everyone is connected to a single point, and that is actually by large, it's called an electrical grid. So now if you come to the smaller version of that electrical grid, that is the agriculture electrical grid. If you see that in the traditional, or what has been followed in last few years when we have electrified the agricultural sector, how the electricity has been sent to the agricultural field. That is actually the distribution lines. You have noticed at your area that you have few poles from where you get your electricity. Those poles are actually connected to a transformer, and that is actually to use the direct supply to your motors, to your irrigation pumps, to the villagers, to any other electrical loads connected with the villages. And that is mainly rely on the national grid. That means our electrical Indian grid. Mainly all the supplies are coming from there, that all the generating companies or all the power generating companies, they dump their power at the electrical main Indian national grid, and as a consumer we just take power from there. And if you don't have, like sometime, because in our country the major problem is the power cut, if that power cut happens, at that time we normally run the diesel generator, and that has been used as a backup. So that is also a very costly and not a very climate friendly solution, that you will run your diesel generator to get power. Okay, so the Indian government, that is why again they have targeted for a few schemes which will especially for the agriculture sector, to electrifying it with the help of renewable energy, and that is called the PM Kusum Yojana, and that has total 3 sectors. So one sector is to say that total 10 gigawatt of the solar power plants will install. Then the Kusum component B is to renovate all the standalone solar power agricultural pump, almost 20 lakhs pump, to convert them from diesel to electrification or renewable integrated one. So, and then you have again like this component C, which is mainly the aim of solarizing the 50 lakh pumps from to not to get power from the main grid, just to run on the solar panel what they are generating. So that is the main goal, that you can see that almost 30.8 gigawatt. What I told that we are aiming for 300 gigawatt of solar energy by 2030, but the Indian government is trying to get 30.8 gigawatt only by March 2026. So you can see how we are aggressively moving towards the electrification of in agriculture sector with the help of renewable energy, and why it is important. So the links between the agriculture and the clean energy consumption, that obviously all the machineries, that whatever your tractors, if it is a battery operated tractors obviously, or you can say your greenhouses, or you can say the pumps or lights or fans in the villages, everything is run by your electricity. But the problem is that our agricultural load are not constant, because every season you have different crops to pluck, and you need to cultivate different kinds of vegetables. So the requirement, the water requirement or fertilizer requirement, and their growing time, their growing season is not identical. So some crop they need more water, so at that time you have to run your irrigation system for a longer duration. For some crop you need water on a very small quantity, so at that time your irrigation system has to run for a shorter duration. So those things are quite variable for agricultural loads. So how to deal with that? Whenever you will install a solar panel, that means you are getting power from the solar energy. That depends upon how much is the sunlight you are getting for a particular day, and that is not actually dependent upon your what crop you are cultivating, obviously. So you have to somehow match with both the things, that you will sometime you will don't get energy, but you have to turn on your pump. Sometime you will get more energy, but at that time you don't want to turn on your pump. So how to balance these two conditions? So there are two, three mainly effects, that either you can use that energy, whatever you are getting from your photovoltaic panels, you can use it for the local purpose, like other than turning on your pump, you just use it for your own home. That means you're for lighting your bulbs or maybe running your fans, or maybe you can just sell it back to the grid. That is also there, that if you don't consume it, you just can sell it to the government. So, and that will give you an economic benefit as well. So that is how, by installing the renewable energy at the agricultural field, it will not only reduce the burden on the farmer for the crop production. That means other than when you are actually buying that energy from the grid, that means you are paying that much amount of money to your electricity service provider. But if you can generate on your own, that means that much of money savings you are doing. And on the other hand, if you have more energy, then you can sell it back to the your service provider as well. That means that can be become an earning to you. So both the aspects are beneficial for a farmer from the farmer's point of view. So those are the few scopes of clean energy usage. You can see that crop cultivator is there, electric tractor is there, then electric power weeder, solar electric crop dryer, obviously the irrigation pump, lighting, and the most you can say the advanced technologies for the agriculture, that is the CAES, Control Environment Agriculture System, or the greenhouse, where you can use this renewables to run your all the electrical loads in the greenhouse. We'll come to this one by one. These are the solar powered machineries. That means the tractors, how they have evolved. Those are your traditional tractors where the mainly the combustion engine, that means your diesel engine or the petrol engines, are used for uh, electricity for running that tractor. But now majorly the in our country also few tractors have come, and majorly in the western countries, that they are replacing this IC engine, that means the combustion engine, with the help of battery and a solar panel. That means what image I showed before as well, that you have a solar panel on the top of your tractor, and that power actually you are using to run your tractor. So this is a very cost efficient one. That means to run your tractor as well, you don't need to buy diesel, or you don't need to go to the petrol pump to refuel it. You can just use your tractor for the whole day without without even spending a single penny. So that is quite beneficial. So then what are the features that I already discussed, that for smart agricultural system, electrical system especially, that you have to install, because when I tell that you have renewable energy, you have your greenhouse, that means there you need to integrate many more kind of technologies in a single platform. That means you have to take your agriculture system as well, you have to take your electrical system as well, you have to take your IT system, that means your IoT system, that means Internet of Things, that you can sense the condition of your agricultural field. But those things are quite advanced, and that will make your agriculture system more sustainable, and that will reduce the wastage of any resources that may be your energy, that may be your fertilizer, that may be your water, that may be anything, that wastage can be reduced drastically. So I will skip this slide because these are the same things I told. Now, how you can integrate this solar photovoltaics or your renewable solar panels in your electrical field? There are few aspects, will come one by one. The first one, which is very popular one, that is called the agrovoltaics. That means agriculture plus photovoltaic. They are summed together, and this new term has come, that is called the agrovoltaic. What has been done here, that you have your crop on the land, and on top of that you have your solar panels, you can see in the figure. So that will do that, serve the two purposes. That means obviously your crop will grow, and again you can generate energy in the same field. You need not to have two separate areas for the two purposes. The same land you have, that can be used for the two purposes, and that can be used to you can generate huge amount of renewable energy that you can sell back to your grid, and that is also a source of the income from the same land. But the problem is that with this kind of architecture, that obviously you will have a shading effect on your crop. That means you have to choose your crop very wisely, that which type of crop doesn't need that much of sunlight. If your crop needs a very huge amount of sunlight, and if you shade it with your solar panel, that it cannot grow and your entire crop production will be spoiled. So that is one concern. Second concern is that what will be the height of it? Because whenever we say the solar photovoltaic production, that production also depends upon few things. It is not only the sunlight, it also depends upon the temperature of the solar panel. That means because it is continuously being heated up because of your sunlight, so if that temperature is maintained properly, then only it can produce energy. But because of the evaporation from your uh, like crops, that you will get some water moisture content on the sorry, below your solar panels, and that will reduce the efficiency of your solar panel. So this technology is widely adopted, but until unless you are very much educated about this technology, your both the purposes cannot be served properly. That means your crop production can also be spoiled, and as well as your renewable generation, what you have targeted as a second uh, source of income, that is also can be spoiled. So that is why this has been adopted, but most of the cases this research is still going on, that what will be the optimal height of the solar panel above the ground, what kind of crop you can pluck at on like below your solar panels. Then the second thing comes, that is the greenhouse. That means the in-house crop uh, cultivation. That is like your the solar entire power generated from the solar panel, and that has been used for irrigation purposes, that has been used for your maintaining the temperature inside the greenhouse, and then other to run the other devices. That means you have a sensor which will say that okay, now this time your the moisture content or the temperature inside the greenhouse has been not in that pre-specified limit. Now you need to turn on your irrigation. So all these sensors, all these other devices, they get power from your solar panel, and that power is supplied to the your directly to those loads. But here you may have a question that this solar panels, they only generate at the daytime. So what about the night time? So to maintain the temperatures, for that purpose, generally the energy storage or the batteries are installed with the same solar panel, that whenever you will at the night time you don't have power, you take the power out from your batteries, and but still your battery is also a good source, and that is not burning any fuel. So that means whenever at the daytime you have plenty of solar power generation, you just store that much you just store a part of that energy at your battery, and the evening time you use the same energy for your greenhouse. So that is a second level of sustainability for the agriculture system. Then a little bit of bigger picture, that is the farming microgrid, where this electric grid, what I told as a bigger one, that has been minimized, or you can say a small version of it, that is called the farming microgrid, where you will have a solar panel connected with your irrigation pumps or your solar pumps, that is used to take the power, take the water, and then your to give it to the crop field, and also run your lights. You also run any other your harvesting machines that are placed at the same location, and those are quite popular. You may have also witnessed this kind of solar panels in our village areas under this PM Kusum scheme. And so these are the very economic solution, because the government is also giving huge amount of subsidy to install the solar panels. And as you are getting free energy for your whole day, or for the entire lifespan of the solar panel, that is mostly your 5 to 10 years time. So you are, at least from the energy generation perspective, or from your that expenditure, you have a zero expenditure. So that will enhance the profit of the farmer as well. Then if you see the biggest one, like the uh, use of renewable energy, that is actually you entirely electrify a village or a area completely with the renewable energy, and that has been already been done at few places. This is a little bit of rural field electric microgrid that has been actually installed near Kanpur, and I was fortunate to be a part of this project, that where we installed solar panels, we have installed few biomass plant and batteries as well, to electrify our entire like two hamlets of a village. And to like they will get power from the solar panel at the daytime. Excess amount of energy they can store at the battery. And as well, because in the village areas we have plenty of this biomass product in the and those product or those wastes we can just burn at the biomass plant, and that can also generate energy. So this has been actually installed, and this is in the running condition, and this has been used for this education, healthcare, agriculture, to lighten small industries, and also to the local villagers' home. So this is the best example of a sustainable agricultural village where all the sectors, and I have to mention that this village was not electrified at that time, and this village is now currently been electrified, and they are getting power only from the renewable energies for all their sectors. That means you can say that's a completely a sustainable village, where not even a like for electricity purpose as well, they are especially they are not burning a single drop of diesel or single amount of coal. So whatever these resources I told, what will happen if we don't manage it properly? Now here comes the AI concept, or why we need that AI. Because we have so many things. We have power supply, electrical systems, we have agriculture system, we have irrigation system, so many things. If they are not managed properly, then what will happen? Obviously the power supply to the rural grid, actually the villages, they are not very stable. Sometimes they are there, sometimes it is completely they live in dark. So you have to rely on a system. If you don't take renewable energy at place, you have to rely on a system which is a very vulnerable one, or which is not a very sure one. That means you want to run your pump, but at that time your village doesn't have power, so you have to wait when it will come after 1 hour or 2 hours. So that is the first one. Second thing, obviously the irregular irrigation, because you are depending upon an irregular power supply. If you don't manage your irrigation pumps properly, that means you are just wasting the water. You are stressing your equipment, because you don't know that whatever the quality of the power also we get at the villages, you must have witnessed very voltage fluctuation we see in the normally in the rural areas in India especially. So that frequent fluctuation in the voltage, that stresses your all your pumps present for the irrigation purposes. And that reduces the life expectancy for those pumps. Then obviously the delayed watering, then economic energy loss, these all are integrated with this previous causes. That whenever you don't use your uh, systems, or you don't use your pumps properly, that means you are reducing the life expectancy of those pumps as well, and also you are wasting water, and also you are you have a chance that your entire crop production will be affected, because obviously if you don't uh, water them regularly or in a periodic manner which has been scheduled for particularly for that crop, that will hinder its growth and the food production. The few bottlenecks of this kind of agricultural clean energy system is that you have total three things to connect. First thing, your electrical system. Second thing, your environment. And third thing is your agriculture plants. That means your crops. And all of them are actually lies in different time zone. Because if you see your electrical systems, they are very fast acting. That means you just have sunlight, that sunlight will instantly start production from your your solar panels. Or if you just switch on if you just switch on a pump, it will instantly start running. That means it's a very fast acting process. Now you come to the environment. Environment changes in every day or maybe every month, depending upon the season, depending upon your climatic condition. Sometime you will get very hot, next day you will get rain, and that will drastically reduce the temperature. So that is mainly a daily, or sometime it's, you can say, an hourly process. It's not an instantly changing process, but it's an hourly or daily changing process. Then you come to your crop. That is the slowest responding thing. That today, if you seed a crop, that will give you the result after 6 months or 5 months down the line. That means whatever you will do wrong today, you cannot recognize that that wrongdoing will give what result at the end. And you have to wait for 5 or 6 months time to see whether whatever decisions you took for your systems, your agriculture system or your energy systems, what is the result of it. That you can only see after 5 or 6 months. And that is the ultimate result we are bothering about. So to manage this three different time scale arrangements or time scale inputs in a single platform, because if you want to manage your agricultural electrical system, you have to take you have to have that glimpse of all these three aspects together, and that is quite challenging. Now the second one, that is for majorly for the greenhouse, that is the measurement and monitoring system. That means for the greenhouse, you have to constantly monitor what is the soil moisture level, what is the soil pH level, what is the temperature inside that greenhouse, whether you have proper ventilation or not. So all these things, continuous monitoring is needed. Anytime if you just being ignorant, your entire production will become like your entire you can say your work will go to just vain. That will be complete wastage. So that continuous monitoring means you need an installation of huge amount of sensors or IoT devices into that greenhouse, and they has to work properly as well. You don't know, like a temperature sensor, if it is an erroneous sensor and your inside temperature is 30 but it is showing 25, and you are taking decision on that, that means you are going nowhere. So it is also our responsibility as an electrical engineer, or you can say when you are installing it to the greenhouse, it is our responsibility all the time to not only see the result from those sensors, but also to see whether those sensors are working properly or not. If they are not working properly and they need immediate replacement, we have to do it. So that is also another bottleneck for these systems. And then the third one, that is quite obvious, that you need to deal with three different kind of systems. that your food system, energy system, and the water system, that means your irrigation systems. And as a farmer or as a single person, you cannot expect that a single person has expertise in all these three fields. So that is quite difficult, and that needs a merger of knowledge or knowledge sharing between different stakeholders, and that is quite difficult, or you can say missing still in most of the countries. So where this AI has come, because all this work, whatever bottlenecks I told, like your merging of these three different time scale, or maybe your sensors, or maybe your decisions for these three different systems. So everything, if you do it if you do it in the human basis, like if a human take all these decisions, that is quite difficult, because I told that no one is perfect, and no one is capable also to take decisions for three different aspects in a single go. Because I am an electrical engineer, as an electrical engineer I cannot take decisions what is good for a crop production, or what amount of temperature is needed for, let's say, for cabbage, or whatever climatic condition needs for cauliflower. As an engineer I don't know, that is completely the sector of an agricultural engineer, or you can say technology. But we can say we can do the knowledge sharing, and that can be done, that can be used to you for this AI technologies to train and then use as an automatic system. That means we can install an automatic system to those application, which will be designed that all the knowledge is taken from different sectors, experts, and then to be installed at a particular area or particular greenhouse or maybe your irrigation pump, that after that it doesn't need any human intervention, and it can operate automatically depending upon the situation it is facing. So not generally, four major areas has been covered with the help of AI. First one, obviously, that's solar power generation forecasting, because you have huge amount of solar panels, so how much they are going to generate. Then you have load forecasting, that means which kind of load or how much load you are going to incur for your rural microgrid or maybe for your irrigation pumps. Then your smart irrigation and water management system. And then the last one, that is the predictive maintenance of agro-electrical systems. That means whatever machines we are using, doing a time to time maintenance of them. And if we don't do it, that means one of a sudden, when you are actually harvesting your field or actually you are using your tractor, suddenly it will stop working. So before moving towards those applications, I will give a very brief introduction of what is AI. And I hope that you all are aware of AI usage, because now we are more dependent on it, especially for research purposes or for writing purposes. So AI is actually mimicking the human intelligence. That means as a human, whatever decisions we take from our childhood to our adulthood or maybe to our old age time, we take all the decisions depending upon the situations we see, whatever the uh, surroundings we see, or maybe whatever the situations we are incurring every time. So those things, actually mimicking those things in the machine level, that is actually your AI. And that is mainly used for learning, reasoning, problem solving, decision making, perception, natural language processing, speech recognition, computer vision, and many more applications are there. I will not go much deeper into that. This is the AI universe. We have machine learning, which is a subset of AI, then neural networks, then deep learning, and now we are more into generative AI, where automatically, depending upon the situations, we don't have any input or maybe a direct input, labeled input to the AI module, but our AI module will learn from the response or from the situations it is incurring every time. So that is actually generative AI, which is mainly our ChatGPT, Gemini AI, all these things are like this. So this is the AI learning algorithm. I hope you are aware of that. So I will not go much deeper into that, that how the AI has been trained, that you will give an input data, it will see, it will learn, and from there it will predict something. If it is a good prediction, accuracy is more than 99.9%, then it is good, it will end. But if it is not, it will calculate an error, and from there again the relearning process will start. And depending upon the learning process, it will see whether it is a rule-based learning or a supervised learning, that you will give input data, and then you will see that if you give an input data, it will check that whether the labeled one, that means if you give an image of a horse, and at the output, let's say it is showing that it is a cat, so that means the learning is not good. But at least for that you have a supervision. That means something is there, or some label is there, that will say at the training time that what is this image. I will come to this in a detail in the next slides. Then you have unsupervised learning, and then you have reinforcement learning. This is the overall AI learning process, where you have a data set. Obviously we need to, for training an AI module, we have to take data from diverse amount of situation, and that is, you can say, another bottleneck of AI application. Because if you take data from a single situation and only train your AI module, then if that situation is little bit deviated at the real time, at that time your AI will give very erroneous result. That means, let's say you have trained your module for a particular data set, and let's say you have trained your module for 5 different animals, with the image of 5 different animals, and you have only trained it for it, and for you they are running very good. Like for those 5, there may be the 100% accuracy you are getting. But whenever you will give an input of the 6th animal, which has not been trained properly, you will get your maybe the output will reduce to 30% or 20%. So that we don't say it is a good AI. We only say an AI module which have been derived is a good when it can operate in a diverse situation with the same level of accuracy. So because of that, we have to give an input data, we have to give a proper output data. Then we have to design a good loss function, which will say that whether the prediction is good or not. If the prediction is good, that means your loss function or the error value will be very less, and that is the desired situation. And if your prediction is not good, your loss function will become very huge. What I told, if it is become very huge, then the AI module will sense that, okay, my learning is not proper. What I have recognized, that is improper. So I have to again relearn from the input data I received. So that is actually been done with this parameter update, and then by few iterations. You must have witnessed that AI module cannot be trained in a single go, that you have started and ended just in a very straightforward manner. It's an iterative process, that it will do mistake, it will learn from that mistake, and again it will relearn from there and try to reduce that error. So the first type of AI learning, that is the rule-based AI learning. That is mainly used, that not very, you need a very extensive or very huge amount of data, but though the amount of data has to be enough that it will give you a perception that what are the cause and what are the result, and depending upon that, those situations, those cause and the results, and those situations, as a human being we set few rules. That means if these things happen, that means if I say that for an agriculture system, that if my soil moisture is reduced to a certain value, then you run your irrigation pump. So this if then rule, that is not been learned by the AI module on their own, that is set by the consumer or set by the user. So we'll set that few if then rules, and those if then rules are actually been implemented to that AI module, and whenever it will incur a situation which will fall under this that if then rule, it will respond accordingly. So fuzzy logic is a very good example of it, that where we give a few set of if then rule. I will show an example as well, and that will and whenever a situation will incur to that if condition, it will just search for that then condition. That means if I say that, okay, if the temperature is lesser than 25%, then turn on your 25 degrees centigrade, then turn on your AC. So that this rule has been set. Now, whenever the temperature at the real time go to 24.9 even, at that time your AC will start running. So these are not very extensive learning. This is just a set of rules we set. That is normally we set for few our child as well. That if you do it, you will get this. So this kind of learning, very easy, straightforward learning, we keep for this rule-based learning process. Then the second type of learning, which is a supervised learning, and most of us are aware of that we give an input with a few data, labeled data. That means every input is classified to several classes, and those classes are properly labeled. That may be an image, that may be a signal, anything, but those training data are properly designed and properly managed data. Those are not there is no error in the training data, and that data actually we feed to the supervised learning. That may be a neural network, that may be a k nearest neighbor method, or support vector machine, or random forest, or decision tree, anything. Any module can work on this topic or on this mechanism, that you will give that training data with the properly labeled classes. They will learn from that level, and at the output it will check whether the predicted level and the input level are same or not. If they are same, that means your learning is proper. If 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 the prediction is wrong, that means they have deviated from that prediction. At that time it will start relearning again. So it is a supervised learning where you have a supervised or a supervised path set by your training input data. By doing that or by categorizing that labels, that label is your actually the supervisor for those learning process. But whenever this label is missing, there comes your third type of learning, that is called the unsupervised learning. When you give the input data, but not with proper label. So at that time, what will happen? At that time, AI learning will try to cluster them. That means it will see it that which or what data, what amount of data they are close to each other. They cannot recognize that. How that means, if you, let's say for an example, you give an image of an horse and image of a cat, image of a dog, image of a human, and let's say image of a bird. Okay, so you have not labeled that this is a bird, this is a horse, this is a cat, this is a dog, and this is a human being. So if you don't label, it will learn from that okay, so 4 legs are there for horse, for dogs, for cats. So they somehow lie in a single cluster. It cannot recognize that whether it is a horse or a cat or a dog. For that you need supervised learning. But it can at least say that, okay, these 3 images belongs to a single cluster, or they are very close to each other. Then human, they are only close to each other. If you give a photo of a girl and a boy, so they are very close to each other. And then your bird, that will become another cluster. So it is just mainly used for clustering the data. It is not, it will never say you the actual result. But unsupervised learning is very good whenever you don't have proper labeling for your input data. And mainly we use k-means clustering, hierarchical clustering, or principal component analysis, autoencoders kind of learning for unsupervised learning. Then comes the fourth and the most advanced kind of learning techniques, which is called a reinforcement learning. What it does, it doesn't have any input. It doesn't have a set of output as well. No supervised learning, not an unsupervised learning. What it will do, you have an intelligent agent, you have your actual environment. That means where you want to implement it. That agent will set few policies. That means few actions. And those actions you can see, it will try to mimic at the environment. That means, let's say from the, if I take an agriculture example, I will set few policies that I will run my irrigation pump at 7 a.m., at 8 a.m., at 9 a.m., at 10 a.m., 12 p.m., and then henceforth. Okay, so I have, let's say, 100 policies for my day for a single pump. Then actually I will use the first policy. Let's say I use the first policy to the ground, to the real life, and something will happen. Let's say it has already been watered, it is already full of water, and then again you are watering your field. So what will happen? There, it is the wastage of water and it will overflow from your land. So that is not a good thing. If that is not a good thing, then as a response of it, it will generate a negative reward. That means a penalty. And it will note down the state of the field as well. By looking at that, it will know that, okay, this policy will give me penalty and a state and this kind of state for my environment. Now, let's say at 12 p.m., let's say for the entire day, you have not turned on your irrigation pump. At the 12 p.m., you have turned it on. And you have run it in the environment, like mimicking at the environment. And you see that, okay, actually that time you need the water. So that means you have taken a good decision. So that will create an reward. And it will also record that state. So ultimately, as a reinforcement learning algorithm, it will try to maximize that reward. That means it will try to maximize its policies, or it will try to collect those policies only which will give it only the reward, not the penalty. And when this maximum reward path or maximum reward set of policies is available to the reinforcement learning agent, at that time, real life, you can just use it. So this is the main phenomena, or you can say the broader phenomena of reinforcement learning. So what are the learning parameters? Obviously, you know those the weights and the biases for ANN SVM, filter weights for the convolution neural network, your forget get weights, biases for LSTM, and henceforth. Like there are multiple number of huge number of AI techniques, and everyone have their own learning parameters. Now you have hyperparameters. There are difference between these learning parameters and the hyperparameters. Learning parameters means what are the variables or what are the parameters you are trying to learn from those images or from those input data. Now every learning has some input. You have to give some set of input under which condition it will learn. So those conditions are actually your hyperparameters. Those are mainly your learning rate, your batch size, your number of epochs, number of hidden layers, regulation terms. Those are actually input data. Those are not learnable parameters. Those are your input to the learning AI learning module. And with those input data and input parameters, and as well as your input data, these learning parameters are actually estimated. And when we say that it has been converged or your learning is proper, that means at that time the set of learning parameters you have designed for your module, those are actually the good. Those are actually the most efficient learning parameters you have designed for your AI module. And those will give you 99% accuracy. So I will discuss few case studies in the next few minutes. There is the first one is the solar power generation forecasting, what I told as the premier example of using AI for agricultural purpose. That how to use the solar power generation forecasting, that you need to forecast the solar power generation depending upon the situation or depending upon the season. And mostly the ANN is very good fit for it. People are now using CNN and LSTM as well. But ANN is a very basic principle and very easily usable technique. But before that, as I told, that the data is the most dominating, or you can say the deciding factor. So the factors, first one is that for which horizon you are trying to predict. That means you are predicting for intra-hour, that means a very short time period. You are doing it for the next day, that means intraday, or you are doing for the long term, that means you are doing for the, let's say, next season. Now we are at winter, we are trying to get how much solar power generation we are getting for the next summer. So these are the long term. Intraday means you are sitting today and you are doing it for tomorrow. And intra hour means you are doing, let's say, at the 12 p.m. you are thinking how much solar energy you will get at 1 p.m. Then you have to get good weather classification. That means which time or which season you are doing it. It may be because if you want to get the solar power generation for the winter season and you just train your AI module with the summer, then if you give at the testing time, if you give the winter data, it will give very bad result. Okay, so that is why I told you need the input data from diverse situation. So those weather classification, then obviously choosing the forecast model and the forecast model input. That means your input parameters. These are 16 different data normally we take, that is mainly the meteorological data, the temperature, solar irradiance, humidity, precipitation, snowfall, wind direction, and you can see others. But whenever you try to train a module, AI module, I told there are 16 data. Obviously, getting 16 different type of data for a AI module, let's say you want to train it for the 1 month, you have to train, if you want to get 100% accuracy, the amount of input data, maybe you have to train it for with the past 10 years data, just for to make your AI module or your ANN module good, like 100%, to get 100% accuracy. Now you can imagine for this 16 input data, you need 10 years timeline. So first of all, getting this amount of data is very challenging. Second thing is to store that amount of data, because it will be a gigabyte size of file, and then to use it. Like there are three hindrances. First, to get the data. Second is to store the data, and third is to use that data. So those three aspects are quite huge. If you don't have that insight that among these 16 data, which are the predominant one, and if you can use those dominant data for your prediction purposes, then you can neglect others. So for that, generally the correlation coefficients are calculated, and you can see the solar power generation is 98% correlated with the solar irradiance. Then 76% correlated with the temperature. So that means if you have a data, if you don't have other 14, and you have data of this first two, that is the temperature and the irradiance, at least you will get 96 to 97% accuracy for your AI module. But let's say you have other 14 data, but you don't have this first two, that means with this huge amount of input data as well, your AI module will still give you, let's say, 20% accuracy. And you cannot think, or you cannot figure out that where I went wrong. So that is why this correlation analysis is highly needed whenever you will try to do any prediction, or you want to try to analyze any kind of AI module. You have to always see what is the correlation effect between the input, every input, and every output, and which input has predominant effect on your output. Only take those data, and then your AI module learning will also become very easy. So these are the few data processing, obviously, because no data is perfect. So you have to do some pre-processing. That means you have to figure out what are the missing data. Then you have to put those missing data, estimate those missing data properly. That means, let's say one day, very sunny day, and it is showing your sensors, your temperature sensor is showing that at the month of June, the temperature of North India is, let's say, 15 degrees centigrade. That is nowhere possible. You cannot imagine that North India at the June month is incurring 15 degrees centigrade temperature. So that means something is wrong with the sensor, not with the weather. So you have to think that, okay, this 15 degrees centigrade data is not proper. So somehow I have to see that, okay, previous day, or let's say last few years, June month, what temperature we received at that time step. And from there you put an arbitrary or an estimated value, just to make your training process proper. Because if you train with that 15 degrees centigrade data, that means you are just intentionally, you are just feeding error at the time of training. And always we want our training data system or training data set should be completely error free. If it is 100% error free, then also your accuracy will become 98%. So you can imagine that if your input data is not 100% accurate or 90% accurate, then your output prediction will reduce drastically. Then this is the scaling one, which is normally been advised, that because I told that 16 different input data means they are of different unit. Irradiance is kilowatt hour per meter square, temperature is in degree centigrade, precipitation is in centimeter. So different kinds of units are there. So let's say your temperature is in 25, 30, 35, 40, this kind of range. Your irradiation will become 1000 to 10,000, 5,000 in range. So you can see one is at the 25, 30 value, numerical value, and the other one is the numerical value of 1000, 2000 or 10,000. So whenever you are feeding to that ANN model, ANN cannot see that unit. ANN just see that digit, numerical digit. So it is better to scale down all this data to 0 to 1 range, respective of their base value. That means if or maximum value, you take 45 degrees centigrade as the base or the max at the maximum, and depending upon that you range your temperature profile between 0 to 1. Similarly, you take 10,000 kilowatt hour per meter square, that is your base maximum solar irradiance, and depending upon that you scale down or normalize your other data between 0 to 1. So every data will now come to a single range, and then your AI learning application or your AI learning accuracy will increase drastically. So this is a very you can say primitive example, and very trivial example. You can see only one single layer of ANN is used with 4 different your input, that is the irradiation, ambient temperature, wind velocity, and module temperature. 250 epochs are given. These are your training hyperparameters, and this error is quite high because it is only 90% accurate. So but still, with this only a single hidden layer or only with this less amount of data, because the temperature, your training data was also very less, with that you can see it is giving 90% accuracy. So you can imagine if you give proper amount of input, then this accuracy can even go to 99%. Then we'll come to the second example, that is the load forecasting with ANN. That means to see whatever loads you are going to incur in the next few days or next few months, to predict it beforehand, because you have to use your power generation very efficiently. So mainly two types of forecasting is done. One is called qualitative forecasting, one is called quantitative forecasting. Normally we do qualitative forecasting when we have less amount of data, that is done by curve fitting. Very easy and trivial method, but very erroneous as well. Then you have quantitative, that is been done by ANN, fuzzy logic, and other AI module. Similar to the solar power generation, you have 4 different time scale for your load forecasting. That is your very short term, medium term, and long term. But the time scale is little bit different. You can see the very short term is only for the minutes. Short term is for 30 minutes to 15 days. Medium term is for monthly to yearly, and long term is for years to decades. Because this long term prediction normally we do when we go for planning purposes. That means you want to plan for the, let's say, one village electricity consumption. You want to electrify what we did actually. When you want to electrify a village, you have to see that what is the going to be the load demand after 10 years or 15 years, because whatever the installation we are doing, that should not be only on the focus of present time, because every day our loads keeps on increasing. Every day customers, they purchase new electrical appliances. So every day if this electrical load keeps on increasing, so maybe for today or maybe for this year, whatever installation we are doing, that is enough. But let's say from next year, that is not enough because your load has increased by 10%, which is normally also the scenario in our country, that every year our net load or our total load connected to the Indian power system is increasing like anything. So that is why this planning thing is done by long term, and the operational or how to manage at the real time management is done by your very short term and short term load forecasting. The data required for the load casting, the first one is obviously your weather, because the weather depend with your load consumption depends upon your weather. Now we are in the winter time, so we don't turn on our AC, but at the summer time we turn on our AC. Similar, now we turn on our heaters. Where summertime we don't need our heaters or electric water heaters. So depending upon the weather, the electricity consumption pattern that keeps on varying. Calendar, that means your, that is in weekdays or an weekend or festival season, because the normal, if you see, let's say this year 20th October was the Diwali, so every year 20th October is not the Diwali, right? So you have to know that you are not predicting your load for a particular day. Are you predicting your load for a particular festival day or not? So festival means your electricity consumption will shoot like anything. So that calendar information also we have to feed. Then rooftop solar power generation, that means if a customer has rooftop solar, what I told, if your irrigation pump is already been electrified with the rooftop solar, that means as an electricity service provider, and at the normal time, let's say as a farmer, at the normal time, very sunny day, you are using your rooftop solar energy or your irrigation solar pump energy to for the irrigation purpose, and you are not consuming from me. I am a service provider, so I cannot see that irrigation pump there. For me, that load is not present, but that is for a sunny day. Let's say it is in winter time. Okay, so at that time, your solar power generation has been dropped to half. If it's a 5 kilowatt panel, at the winter sunlight, you will get only 2.5 kilowatt or maybe 2 kilowatt. But under that condition as well, you have to run your irrigation pump, not at its full capacity, but at least you have to run it. And at that time, maybe that solar power generation, whatever you are generating, that is not quite enough only to irrigate your land. So at that time, you are taking actually power from me. So that is an extra load. If I am not prepared for it, that extra load can disturb my system. That is not with only one pump. If there is 1,000 of such kind of pumps, that can disturb my situation. So we have to know where the rooftop solar panels are present, the economic condition of the customer, that means an industrial customer or a residential customer or an agricultural customer, the behavior of the consumer, and obviously there's an electric vehicle concept. I will not go into that. Then this is a very you can say basic example of ANN based short-term load forecasting, where we are just trying to predict a load a day, like load for one day. We have feed the data for day and night, for temperature and humidity. These are the historical data. For only 1 month, data is fed to predict the data for one day. In the December 2010 data we have fed, and you can see that the obviously the error is quite high. Almost sometime it went to more than 14%. But at least you can get the vibe that okay, the ANN can be used, like this supervised learning or this learning AI modules. They are good for these purposes, like your prediction purposes, for that may be solar generation purpose or maybe the load purpose. Then there's the last example. I hope I have a few minutes of time. So this is the logic based, what is the rule based management of solar powered irrigation system. So you can see there is an irrigation system having a solar panel, battery, a motor, and a tank to to irrigate your agriculture field. So generally it takes data from your system. That means your IoT system will be enabled. That will give you the moisture information, so soil moisture information. It will give you the temperature information, other climate information, as well as it will give you the information about how much energy you have at your battery or how much energy you are generating from your solar panel. So taking those data, you just see how much energy you need to pump your water or to irrigate your field. You see how much water also you need. That means how much energy you need, and as well as how much water you need. And you check whether how much energy you have available with you, whether that is sufficient to irrigate or to pump that much of water or not. So those kind of error you calculate, and depending upon that, you design your fuzzy logic or your if then rule. So these are your actually you will define few membership function, or I can say few sets of stages. That means if the inside temperature is very cold, that means from 0 to 15 degree, that is very cold, then medium, then hot, then very hot. Similar to soil moisture, you see very low, low, medium, high, very high. Similarly, you can say irrigation duration. It is a very short duration. On you to run for very short duration, that is for 0 to 2.5 hours. It is a short duration, that means 0 to 5 hours. For medium duration, that means for till 7.5, then henceforth long and very long. So you can see, depending upon the temperature and depending upon the soil moisture, these two are your sensor data. That data you collect, and from that data, because obviously you cannot keep from 0 to 50 in a single scale, you just divide that scale into multiple small subscale. That means temperature in different categories, soil moisture in 5 different categories, and obviously your decision, that is my irrigation duration, that is also in 5 different categories. And depending upon that, you set few if then rule. Those are your if then rule. That means if your inside temperature is very cold and your soil error or your soil moisture error, that is very low, that means your moisture level is at the specified or at the defined level at that time, then that means these are your input data, very cold and very low. Then at that time your irrigation time is for very short, because of that time your temperature is low, that means you don't need to uh, like that is a dry or very heated up condition. And also your soil is good amount of moisture level, that means it has already been having good amount of water in it, so you don't need to water it more, so that is why it is a very small. So depending upon that, different rule like 24 25 different rules has been set. And if you see the last rule, that means if it is a very hot condition, your error is also very high, at that time you have to run your irrigation system for a very long condition. So depending upon that, you will design this membership functions. These are all, we call it a membership function in fuzzy logic, where this you can see these are the membership functions. They are quite overlapping to take the decision. These are your input membership function, and this is your output membership function. So you have your for how much time you have to run your irrigation system. But now we have to see whether that for that much amount of time, for that much amount of uh, water to be pumped, whether we have that much amount of energy with us or not. If we don't have that much of energy, we cannot irrigate or we cannot pump that much of water. So that has been done by another fuzzy logic, where this energy level that has been actually designed very high, high, medium, low, and very low. And those water level and the other level, your energy level, these has been actually again been set to a fuzzy logic. And you can see again few if then rules, 12 if then rules are set, and depending upon that, ultimately you will get that how much error or how much energy you can use to irrigate your pump, or if you need to do any adjustment to your duration, because your duration only gives you the amount of water you are pumping. So if you reduce the duration, that means you reduce the amount of water, pumped water, and that will reduce your energy consumption as well. So if you don't have energy proper, like a good amount of energy, you reduce your time of irrigation, time span of irrigation. So those has been decided by this fuzzy logic. So if you give this set of rules to your automatic device, an automation device, and install it at your greenhouse or at your irrigation pump, with obviously those data, continuous real-time monitoring of the sensors data has to be fed to that automatic device, and it can sense the situation, and depending upon that it can take the decision. So at last I will conclude with a few things. That is obviously that nothing is you can say 100% accurate. So similarly, AI algorithms are also not 100% accurate, and there is a chance that same like human error, AI error can also be there, and you cannot blame AI for that. And means depending upon that, as an human being or as an operator or as a service expert, we have to be that much, we have to have that much of expertise that which type of AI technology we want to use, because all the AI technology is not good for all the purposes. That means, let's say ANN. We have seen the ANN for your solar power generation or maybe for load forecasting. They are 90% accurate. But if you go for LSTM, those are good for the prediction, and that can give you 97-98% accuracy. Similarly, if you see the convolutional neural network or CNN, those are very good for the classification purposes. That will give you, maybe you will have few sessions as well in the future, which will give you that which kind of crop is there for a particular land, or which kind of maybe the crop diseases you are incurring or you are witnessing at your field. Those things you can do by ANN, but that prediction accuracy of those kind of modules are not very high. So for that, CNN is a very promising architecture. But if you use that CNN for the prediction purposes, then you will get very less accuracy. So depending upon that, not only you can just feed everything to the AI module and sit relax, you have to see, first thing is that what kind of data we are feeding, and whether that data has been taken from diverse situation or not. Second, whether those data are 100% accurate or not for the training purposes. Third thing, we have to pre-process the data properly to make them, you can say, feasible, or you can say usable for the AI module. And the last thing, whether the module, whatever we are using, that is actually capable to do that work or not. So if this four to five things are synchronized properly, then obviously your AI techniques are quite promising and can be the future of smart agriculture system for sustainable development.
Yeah.
With this,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for enriching our knowledge. Now it's a
I will
question and
end
answer.
my lecture, and I hope if attendees have.
Thank you, sir, for enriching our knowledge. Now it's a question and answer time. If anybody wants to ask, please raise your hand. Participants, if anybody wants to ask question, please raise hand. Sushil sir, Miss Deepanjali has raised her hand. Raised hand. Yes, Miss Deepanjali.
First of all, I would like to thank you, sir, for the wonderful session. During the PPT, you have shared about the data like the temperature and humidity and similarly like that. But can we get a data set where we can get all these things involved all
I think there's a network problem, but if I have understood the question, it is like you are asking that whether we can get all the data together or not. You can get mostly the meteorological data from the IMD. Like,
I'm asking it like
sorry, can you please
if I
repeat
want
your
to
question?
train the model, AI model, so how can I use the data to train it
Yeah, actually,
all
the
together, all
data.
the data all together?
Yeah, actually, generally, whenever we feed a data to an AI module, generally we give it as an Excel file or maybe the CSV file where few columns we design, let's say first column is for the temperature, second column is for the humidity, third column is for the irradiance. And during the training, the code is written like that, that one by one column will be fed to the AI module. And then it can recognize that the coding you have to do that will link between this AI node or your ANN node with that particular column of the CSV file.
Sir, one more question. Uh, can we only use ANN or other deep learning algorithms or generative AI models that can also be utilized for this?
Yeah, like obviously the ANN is, you can say, easily usable. That doesn't need much expertise. And even now Python, MATLAB, they have their good ANN tools as well, ready to use tools. But their prediction accuracy, you can see they're 90% or 94% or 86%. But if you use deep learning techniques that I told, like LSTM, long short term memory, or recurrent neural network, they are more efficient for this prediction purpose, and then that can give you 97-98% accuracy. Getting accuracy more than 99% is very difficult still. And for that, generally people are like more going towards, that is another aspect which is called physics informed neural network, where generally the physics of the system, like for whom you are trying to predict the any output data, that physics of that system is also incorporated with the input data. That means not only a blindfolded training, but you train your system with a particular guidance with the physics involved with that particular system. So that can give you an accuracy of more than 99%.
Okay, thank you, sir. And any other wants to ask question? If anybody wants to ask question, please raise hand. I think no other one wants to ask. Okay. Now, I invite Dr. Vivek Agarwal to present vote of thanks.
Good evening to all. On behalf of IPS College of Technology and Management, Gwalior, I extend our sincere gratitude to Dr. Subho Paul, Assistant Professor, IIT BHU, Varanasi, for an insightful session on AI-enabled management of farming electrical systems for sustainable agriculture. Your expertise and contributions reflected in your research achievements, awards, and impactful work have greatly enriched today's program. I also thank the management, organizers, and all participants for their support and active involvement. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
So, dear participant, I have announcements for you. The feedback link will be given at the end of today's program in chat box and WhatsApp group. Please fill and submit it by tonight. It is mandatory for all participants to submit feedback for the attendance purpose, otherwise you will be considered absent. So now we will proceed for next session. I invite Dr. Akshay Pandey, Assistant Professor, IIITDM Jabalpur, to deliver his talk on UAV, a game changer in agriculture. Before his talk, I would like to brief about Dr. Akshay Pandey. Dr. Akshay Pandey currently serves as an assistant professor in the Computer Science and Engineering Department at the Indian Institute of Information Technology, Design and Manufacturing, IIITDM Jabalpur. Dr. Pandey holds his bachelor's and master's degree in computer science and engineering and earned his PhD from IIT Roorkee. He possesses extensive practical expertise in UAV assembly, multispectral imaging, and geospatial data analysis, making him a leader in leveraging cutting-edge technology for societal well-being and environmental stewardship. Dr. Pandey has authored many peer-reviewed journal articles and book chapters, and he serves as an editor for journals like the Journal of Recent Trends in Blockchain Technology and its Application. Furthermore, he is founding member of Revenue Geospatial, a startup under the TIDES Incubation Center at IIT Roorkee, showcasing his commitment to translating research into commercial solutions. He is also actively involved in international collaboration, including the Endangered Wooden Architecture Program funded by Oxford Brookes University. His expertise is recognized globally, holding professional membership in esteemed bodies such as European Geoscience Union (EGU), the American Geophysical Union (AGU), and IEEE Young Professional Group. He is also a certified drone pilot. Now it's over to you, sir.
Hello, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Snehika, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Raju Sharma, sir, for this invitation. And so, I think the participants enjoyed the first session. That is something related to the electrical and how we are going to proceed with the agriculture and AI in electrical zone. So, in this session, what we are going to do, like how the UAV is being a one, or we can say it's a eye of the farmers, eye from the space of the farmer. So that is the main objective is this like presentation. We will try to conclude like how the UAV will helpful the agriculture and as well as the farmer. So I am just going to share my presentation. Give me a second. I think it's visible to you.
Yes, sir. It is clearly visible.
Yes, so before going in the deep, we will start with the basics like how the person who is not very much friendly with the UAV or drone. So we will start with the basic like how the UAV will come in the picture and how we are going to use the UAV or drone. So first the thing is, as I told you, the farmer's eye. We can say it's a farmer eye. So why this UAV is required? So the main thing is that the word that is a precision agriculture. So the precision agriculture is a very important word in this scenario. If we are talking about the digital India, if we are talking about the agriculture, sustainable agriculture. So we are considering that the precision agriculture is an umbrella. Okay, so in this umbrella, what we can have like to introduce different area, different perspective. So that is our objective of the precision agriculture. So the core idea then are we simple applying the that is a main punchline of the precision agriculture. The right input at right time in the right amount and the right place. These four things are very, very important. The right input, right time and right amount and right place. So that is possible in the form of precision agriculture. So it involves like we are gathering the data, so processing, analyzing the large amount of data that we are capturing from different multiple resources. So in this flow chart you can see at the top there is some data like what how we are going to collect the data, and this data, after the data collection, we have to process this data. Okay, so the data collection is very important in the precision agriculture. If I think most of the students are from the computer science engineering and some other objective also, but the thing, if we are going with any AI, any ML, any DL model, the first thing is data. If you have a data, then you can do anything. So most of the thing is data. So data is collected through the different sensors, different platform, like somebody is collecting from the phone, somebody is collecting from the drone, somebody is also downloading from the satellite. Okay, so these are the different platforms that we are having. So with this diagram, what we have, the outcomes of the automation, like after the data collection, we have the automation. So we are going to process the data by the automation techniques, then optimize the resources and reduce the pest control impact and reduce the overall environment impact. So that is our main idea, or we can say it's our main objective of the precision agriculture. Okay. So in this, first we have to follow some steps in precision agriculture. So in this left side, you can see there is a one flow diagram. So the precision agriculture will come after the traditional agriculture. So the traditional farming methods are significantly challenging. Okay, so these include the as we are talking about the traditional, so it means, as I earlier told you, that a right place, right time, and right amount. So in the traditional farming, like we have the overuse of water, overuse of fertilizers, and yield unpredictable. Okay, and the main thing is the climate. So the climate variability is also there. So the precision agriculture offers a clear solution to overshoot these issues in the agriculture sector. So with the help of precision agriculture will increase the input efficiency, save the resources like water, fertilizers, and pesticides, and it also enhance our yield. So that is a very important point, the yield prediction. So yield prediction, resource environmental impact, and improve the decision making through the real time data and artificial intelligence. So that is the main objective, like how we are going to proceed with the precision agriculture. And the precision agriculture matters because it provides the multiple benefits that address the modern agriculture needs. So the like in this presentation you can see like the key benefits that include, so like the increase the efficiency, yield, along with the automated resource system. It also supports advanced pest visual or some pest control utilization technique. With the help of robotics, help to reduce the overall environmental impact on the farming. So you can see with this why precision agriculture is matter and how we are going to benefit it by the different aspect, like the reduce improve the decision making with the help of real time edge AI or real time data collection. So you can see like what is the impact and how we are, if we are going to follow the steps in the precision agriculture. So in the precision agriculture, I earlier told you that the first is data collection. That is very important point. How we are going to collect the data. If we have a sufficient data, if we have a right amount of data, then we are going with the data analysis. So that is like the data analysis. So we are going to map the data. We are going to identify the variability. Then on the basis of this data analysis, we are going to decision support system. And after this data analysis, we have a decision making, how we are going to make the decision. So this of the decision making, we have one path to lead the decision making prediction, and while the other part lead to the application of fertilizers, water, pesticide, and prescription. So all these steps lead into the implementation rate application, which is powered by GPS guided machinery and automated system. So these are the steps that we need to follow in the precision farming. So with the help of precision agriculture, you can see from this diagram how we are going to the impact in the global market from 2023 to 2033. So the finally this process conclude with monitoring and evaluation, which includes continuous monitoring and yield validation. So in this diagram, this visually intuitive showing how each step lead to the next to create a continuous cycle of improvement. So you can see from the 23 to 24, 25, and we have a 33. So this global precision farming market is experience significant growth. It was estimated to be approx 10.5 billion in 23, and it is projected to reach 33.2 billion. So this representation a compound annual growth rate as per the market reach. So this is like how we are, if we have to utilize the precision agriculture, what is the future of the precision agriculture in the sustainable development goal. So in 2033. So the key technology that is required to overshoot the traditional farming issues with the use of precision agriculture. So you can see The key technologies, so the precision agriculture relies on a suite of key technologies. So these include the satellite remote sensing, unmanned aerial vehicle, drone that we are going to discuss in the next slides, and the soil and water sensors. So these tools gather real-time environmental data, and the data is then processed and analyzed using the GPS, GIS, and along with the AI, the artificial intelligence. So this analysis help through power the technologies like variable VRT, Internet of Things. These all concepts, all these components for seamless data flow and the automation. So these are the main techniques like we are going to discuss about the UAV or drones. So I think most of the students, those who are in the research scholar, some of the faculty members, I think they are very much aware about the technologies like UAV, unmanned aerial vehicles or drone. So they know how we are going to using the drone in nowadays as a photogrammetry and a survey, different we are using the drone applications. So in this image you can see in the below there are some classical examples of UAV when there is nothing like this, the DJI in other companies. So right now we are having a different shape and size UAV or drone. So with these are the classical example. So UAV offers an efficient and cost-effective and time-saving solution for acquiring geospatial data. Means we have the photos along with the GPS information in that same image or the metadata information that we are having. So that will provide the real-time information with high spatial and temporal resolution. So why I'm saying this spatial and temporal, like we are having a pixel sizes more, and temporal, it means we are taking the pictures regularly, suppose 1 day, 2 day. So that is our like objective in this. And this makes the cutting edge technology in the geospatial application. So the GIS and remote sensing. So if we want to start the UAV, suppose someone is very new in this FDP and they want to start a UAV. So I'm just giving you the brief, the basics parts that is required to configure or assemble a one UAV. So you can see in this slide, so that some consists of several key components like we have a frame and the motors, the propellers, the battery, and the controller, the flight controllers, like you can see the FPV camera, ESC. So with the help of ESC, we regulate the power to the motors, radio transmitter for remote control, and the radio receiver to receive the signals from the transmitter. Additional components may include the GPS module, cameras, and sensors. So with this, like the propellers, to generate the thrust and the movement, the battery, the lithium polymer battery that we are using in the drones nowadays. So these are the basic components, or we can say it's a very important component if you are going to like assemble a UAV in like for your different application. You are trying to do survey, you are going for the photogrammetry. So this is like the basic parts. So working principle of quadcopter. So a quadcopter feature 4 propellers positioned at the corners of each frame. Each propeller's speeds and direction are independently controlled. So with the help of like the ESC is giving the power to the motor, and motor will try to fly the propellers. So that is the main concept of the propellers and the working principles. In a traditional quadcopter, the rotors are evenly spaced. So with one pair rotating clockwise and other pair counterclockwise to maintain the balance. To hover, all rotors must run at high speed. By adjusting their speeds, and the drone can move forward, backward, and side to side. So this is the like how the working principle with you can see from the image. If we are going to the up, so we have to generate a thrust. So it will drag and our UAV will go up, or if we want to go left and right, so that we need to balance with the our this propellers and motors. The like we have different type of airframe. So someone airframe is the UAV physical. So you can see in the image A and the B as well. So the airframe is the UAV physical structure that supports all major components, including motors, sensors, flight controllers, and payloads. like the common airframe types include the H frame. So that is very usually most of the people, those who are working in the drone technology, they are using the H frame, which provides a good stability and small drones. So if we are going with the small size of the drone, so this H frame is very suitable, and the plus frame as well, and the simple cross shape, the third one. So that is also some like the frame different orientation we are having. The choice of airframes directly affect the stability. Yes. So the we are having the what type of application we are having and what type of frame we are choosing. It is very important because the choice of the airframe, the payload capacity and maneuverability. So that is an important key factors in the precision agriculture where steady flight. As I'm saying that we are going to the data to collect the precisely. So the main thing is with the precision agriculture, we need a steady flight and accurate sensor data are essential. Like there is no fluctuation, there is no vibration. So this airframe is playing a very important role while we are collecting the data through the UAV or drone. The second is UAV motors that convert the electrical energy into the rotational motion for the propellers and come into the two main types. So the one is brushless and the second is brushed. So most of the time the brushed motor is very expensive, and the brushless DC motors that we can use, so it's a very not it's a more costly, it's a very cheap, so we can easily purchase from the market and that we can use for the our research purpose as well. So these brushless motors rely on the electronic controller, so that ESC will help to give the power and how we are going to fly in the sky. So this very important like the motor, and this brushless motor is very less maintenance required. So that is a very important point, that why we are going with the less this brushless and brushed motors. For modern agriculture, or right now we are going with the digital agriculture scenario, so the brushless motor are generally preferred due to their superior performance and durability. So we are preferring this brushless motors. Yes, so if you want, then I can also, it's visible to you. So this is our brushless motors, you can see here, and this is our propellers. Okay. So these we have four motors. This 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is our airframe that we are having. Yes. So these are like we discussed about the motors and airframe. That is very important. Now the ESC, the electronic speed controller. So once the motor are installed, the ESC becomes very essential. So acting as a link between the battery and the motors by regulating speed, direction and braking based on the signals from flight controller to ensure precise and stable flight. So with this ESC is having a very important part in this drone. And now come to the LiPo battery. Yes, lithium polymer battery service. I think most of the people know about the LiPo battery, and they are also using in their electric vehicle as well. So in their mobile charger, something like this. So this LiPo battery that we are using, and the battery is like directly dependent on the endurance, like on the based of the battery charging we are able to fly in the sky. Like it can be a 10 minutes, it can be a 5 minutes, it can be 20, 30, 45 as well. So different this LiPo battery we have like based on the 13, 14, these are the different versions that we are having. So with the LiPo battery we are able to fly in the sky, we are giving the power from the battery as well. And then come to the propellers. So the propellers convert the motor rotation into thrust, so that we can able to fly in the sky. And their size and the pitch and the material, that is very important, the material that we are using, the carbon fiber, just because of the light weighted. So most of the parts that we are going to assemble a UAV, so we are trying to assemble with the help of this carbon fiber. So this propellers, after the propellers, we have the GPS module. So GPS module, as you know, that the global positioning system, so that we can collect the actual information about the location of particular image or the particular object in the image. So that is very important. Like we are going to find out the altitude, longitude, latitude. So that is possible just because of the GPS. And we have so most of the time, like we have the very important as that we can say the flight controller. So we are considering as a UAV brain. So the flight controller, the brain which process the sensor data, manage the stability, navigation, controls motor output through the ESC, and coordinates payload function such as cameras and multispectral sensors that we are going to plug in the our airframe system. Then we have ground control station. So we already discussed about the flight controller, then batteries, then frame. So after understanding these flight controller and all, the next crucial element in UAV operation is the ground control station, and it is a telemetry system. So you can see in the first, so which enables the real-time monitoring, communication, and control for the drone. So this GCS, now you can see the GCS software, then how we are going to plan our flight planning. So the GCS software such as Mission Planner, the Q Ground Control supports mission planning, simulations, and the live tracking. So in the telemetry, that modules the consisting of air side transmitter and a ground side receiver. So such as we are using a DJI and all. So with the help of, we are getting the information in the air to our ground control station with the help of this telemetry. So the communication typically occurs through the RF, the radio frequency telemetry modules to extend the range, and sometimes we can use the 4G LTE, that data card. So that is also one communication link can be possible. So in this image, you can see the first image for the telemetry, second image for like how we are going to use the GCS software for the flight planning. So this is a one software, the middle screen, the middle figure is for like we are having some mobile based application. The third one is very manual, that is very interesting. The third one is our remote, that we have to fly the drone manually. So we have to see in the sky, there is nothing come in this remote. So we have different type of ground control station. So in this slide, you can see how we are going to assemble a UAV. So these are the very basic steps. So to consolidate everything, you can see, just a minute. So the like in the first, we have learned the previous, like the step by step how what are the key components in the drone. And so first we have to install the frame, the base or the arm, establishing the UAV physical structure for the stability. Then we have to attach the motors and the ESC, setting up the propulsion system and the control system. Third is install the power distribution board, the PDB board, and the battery, providing the organized and efficient power to all components. And then mount the flight controller on the GPS module and integrating the UAV brains. So the flight controller is the UAV brain, and we are navigational system with the use of GPS. And then add the payload, like we are going to payload as a camera. Suppose we have to some camera with the gimbal. So we are assigning a one payload like a RGB sensor, multispectral sensor. So we can use any sensor that you want to as a payload. Then perform pre-flight calibration and testing, like our GPS is getting the locations. So then we check if before going to the flight, we have to check the 7 satellite is available in the air or not. If they are available, then we can go with the flight. So this like how we are going to the UAV assembly. I don't know why it is not playing in this. It's a very good video in this, but somehow it is not opening. So don't worry, I will show you in the next slide. Don't worry about this. So in this, like how we are going to the UAV can be configured very easy with. It's not a very big deal. So UAV, as I earlier told you that the UAV is having a different orientation above the payload, below the payload. Okay. So UAV can be classified different parameters like the physical size. We are going with the quadcopter, hexacopter. Okay. So the different size of UAV we are having, how much payload we want, so like weight, total weight of the UAV, the endurance, the battery. The endurance, it means the battery, how much time we want to sky in the flight. So that is the endurance. Then altitude, how much height we have to take from the sea level or from the earth. Then wing loading, engine type, so different propulsion system, the range, the performance, like we have to go with the 2 kilometer in a single go, 5 kilometer in a single go. So these are the classification of different drone with the physical size and weight. So with this like different classification, it means it depends on how you are going to choose a drone for your concern for a particular application. So that is our main objective, like which drone we are going to configure or we are going to assemble. So we have three types of UAV. So the unmanned aerial vehicle at right now coming in very different various types. So each suited for specific applications. So in the you can see in the middle there is a one fixed wing UAV resemble traditional airplanes and are ideal for long range mission due to their efficiency in flight. In the second you have a rotary wing UAV. So rotary wing UAV including like popular quadcopters, as this I have shown to you. This is a quadcopter that we have. The excellent ability to hover. Suppose if you want to stay somewhere in the air, so this this quadcopter will help you. And most of the time we are using this quadcopter for aerial photogrammetry, for the inspection, for the survey. Then we have also having the hybrid UAV. It means the combination of fixed wing and the rotary wing. So we have the like VTOL, that we can say, the vertical takeoff and landing. So single go we are having both functionality, fixed wing and the rotary wing. So these are the types of the UAV. The fixed wing UAV. So the fixed wing UAV drone resemble traditional airplanes with the central body, two wings, and a single propellers. So in flight, the wings generate lift to counterbalance and drone weight, enabling sustained flight. So while less common outside of agriculture and oil and gas application, fixed wing drones offer unique advantage for a specific mapping task. The fixed wing UAV, the drones offer several key advantages. They have a significant range, allowing longer flights on a single battery cycle. Like the endurance is very high in the fixed wing, making them ideal for mapping a large or linear areas. If we are going to access a one uh, railway line or some single lane road, so that is very useful for the survey, this fixed wing. And their linear flight capabilities makes them well suited for long distance like pipeline inspection. So that is also one. Then the fixed wing drones have several limitations. So the limitation is that we have to require a larger takeoff and landing. That is also one, like most of the people know about how we are going to take off and landing in this fixed wing. So this is a one challenge when we are going with this. Additionally, they are less efficient for area mapping due to their large turning radius. The maneuverability is very high. Okay, if we are going to turn, then we have to make some semicircle kind of thing. We are not able to move in the axis. So that is another challenge with this. The rotary wing, that is most considerable drone, or we can say it's a quadcopter. So we have four rotors. So we have quadcopters, hexacopter. Hexacopter, it means we have 6 wings, 6 rotors, 8 octacopters. So means 8 motors with propellers. So these are the different multi-rotors. So most of the agriculture or survey purpose, we are using this rotary wing UAV. These are the advantages, like multi-rotor drones offer great maneuverability. Okay, they can easily take off and landing in the same axis. So they are very professional drone. Most of the peoples are using this drone for the high capacity, high payload capacity, and for the survey in the purpose of agriculture, in the purpose of different orientation. Most of the peoples are using the rotary wing UAV. Multi-rotor drones have shorter flight range. So that is a one typical around 30 minutes per battery in ideal conditions, requiring frequent battery replacement. So it means the endurance is very low in the rotary wing, because we have to fly the we have to fly the drone with the using the four this motor, so we have to generate the thrust. So at the same time, four motors are using the battery at the same time. So that is a less endurance. So that is very like one major challenge in this rotary wing. But the flight is very easy in the rotary wing. So these are the comparison, like how we are going with the multi-rotor, fixed wing, single rotor. So you can see in the pros and cons with the typical use. So multi-rotor, we are using the aerial photogrammetry and video aerial inspection. And the fixed wing, we are using the aerial mapping, pipeline inspection. And the single rotor, like the lidar or laser scanning. So these are the basics, like how we are going the three different type of UAV. So in this image, you can see there is a one pilot. It's a remote pilot. You can see. So he is only having the remote, and drone is flying from like 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer far. So in the use of UAV, the precision agriculture is powerful, but it is also a data hungry. I also earlier told you in the first slide, data is very important. So this precision agriculture word is data hungry. So to function properly, it needs the constant flow of reliable information. So this unmanned aerial vehicle act as a data catalyst, filling this gap by collecting and delivering field level insight quickly and efficiently. So with drones, the agriculture providers can monitor vast stretches of farmland in a single go, generating detailed imagery and sensor readings. So this transformation into actionable insights, helping farmers to navigate shifting weather, optimize water and fertilizer use. This will help to maximize the yield, and UAV do more things as well. So the use of UAV are increasingly used for the streamline operations. So for example, automated spraying that can be possible with the UAV, targeted seeding, or even real-time crop stress detection. So that is possible with the edge AI. So drones are not only the eye of the precision agriculture, they are becoming a hands and ear as well. So making them like entire farming system smarter and more efficient. So when we have uh, like drones, so with the help of drones, we can use the precision agriculture like right amount of time, right place, right amount. So that can be possible with the drone, the specific area, because we have a GPS module as well in this. So this is the overall UAV how we are going to. So these are the some UAV that are available for market. So if we want to use these UAV as a research purpose, so we can use. So there is a one company DJI is providing these drone. So in this table you can see the drone, the models and the flight speed and the endurance, like the battery time, which GPS they are using, how much time they can fly in the sky. So you can see the flight range as well. So in a one go, our UAV can fly in the 7 kilometer far from the remote from our ground control station, and we are having a different like 10 kilometer, 7 kilometer. So this is a comparison of different drones. We have another company that is providing the Parrot. So that is also some based on the endurance, GPS, flight range. So you can see how this different drone companies are providing the different flight range and the different endurance as well. There is another company, the Hotel Skydio Unique. They are also providing the drone with different like 9 kilometer, 6 kilometer, and 1.6 kilometer. Trimble, EB. So an UAV or aerial system primarily consists of three components. And the first is unmanned aerial vehicle. The second is communication data link, and the third one is your ground control station, like your remote, like your laptop, or like your some other application based mobile. So that is a component of these are the three important component of US, the unmanned aerial vehicle, communication data link, and GCS, ground control station. So these are the major point of the drone. So in this, like we already discussed about the fixed wing. So in the fixed wing, you can see in this image, there is a one. So as I earlier told you that the fixed wing requires the long runway for run and take off. Okay, so in the left side, you can see there is a one live video is there. So this drone is developed by us when I was in my lab in IIT Roorkee when I'm doing the PhD from IIT Roorkee. So this drone developed by our lab or me. So how this unmanned aerial vehicle serve as a data catalyst in agriculture? Now you can see. So the fixed wing unmanned aerial vehicle, as the animation here shows, so a fixed wing look very much like a small airplane. You can see this like this. So it has long and straight wings that allows to guide smoothly and cover vast areas with minimal energy use. So that's why I'm saying the endurance is very high in this fixed wing. The biggest advantages of fixed wing unmanned aerial vehicle is the long flight range and high endurance. So that is a very important point. And rotary wing having some like endurance is very low as the more battery power is required. So that is another concern. And this the fixed wing large farm, if we have a like large farms or farmland, so that can be possible with the fixed wing. So if we have a commercial plantation, the wide area agriculture survey, so we can go with the fixed wing. So farmer is also using this fixed wing unmanned aerial vehicle for crop health mapping, orthomosaic field survey, and monitoring irrigation efficiency. That is also a considerable point. So there, like in simple terms, a fixed wing unmanned aerial vehicle is like a combined harvester of aerial farming. So this is the next category is the rotary wing. You can see in this image we have a hexa and quadcopter. So left side you are having a hexacopter and right side you are having a quadcopter. So these two drone is also developed by us in our lab. So in this left side, the hexacopter, we are having some wheat seeds in this white box. You can see in the video there is a one white box that is a payload. So we have some wheat seed on that, and we are going to sowing in the plant. Sorry, in the farm. In the left side, we are having a this quadcopter or along with the multispectral camera. So you can see there is a one red camera is there. You can see very precisely the payload in the below in the middle. So that is a multispectral MicaSense camera. So this multispectral MicaSense camera is able to capture the agriculture image in 5 bands. So like we have a red band, we have a green band, we have a blue band, and the multispectral we are considering, so NIR and red edge. Okay, so that these two drones we are using. So as the demonstration, so the multi-rotor drones versatile and easy to use. So and the main thing is vertical takeoff. We can easily you can see in the video. So that is our like how we are going to use the different as the quadcopter and hexacopter. So with this two, like they want to farmers, we are talking about the farmers, we can collect the detailed spectral data, and they can also they want some seed or plantation, so that can be a possible using the drone. So this is a main useful feature in this drone. So we already completed like the seeding and the image photogrammetry. The third type is hybrid. So that is a hybrid. It means like we have a VTOL. The hybrid is a VTOL, the vertical takeoff and landing. So you can see in the image that we have a fixed wing. The two wings is fixed, and you can see the propellers as well. So that is called the fixed wing along with the rotary wing. So that is a VTOL, vertical takeoff of landing. So in the last two, what which are designed for the long endurance, large scale, but what we could combine the strength of both. There is a hybrid unmanned aerial vehicle. So this means they can take off and land without any runway, even in confirmed, like we have a very complex farm area. So that is also a possible solution for the confined farm areas if we are going to collect the data and run and take off and landing. Once the airborne, they switch the fixed wing mode, giving them long flight endurance and the ability to cover large area efficiency. So we can say the hybrid drones bright the best for both worlds in the precision and the vertical flexibility of rotary wings. So in this, like in agriculture, this hybrid capacity is very useful. For example, a hybrid drone can take off from the edge of the field, perform a large survey over hundreds of hectares, and then land back to the safely in the same small area. So this avoid the infrastructure challenge of fixed wing aircraft while still providing wide coverage. So you can think like a hybrid unmanned aerial vehicle is a multi-purpose vehicle of the drone world. So just like an SUV combines the comfort of a car with the ruggedness of a Jeep. So hybrid drones combine endurance with versatility. So this is the image you can see. So the upper image is captured by the UAV and the lower images, the lower part is from the satellite. So you can see the changes and the difference between how we are getting the high resolution images in the satellite and the UAV. So in this satellite, we are rarely identifying the edges of the boundary, but in the UAV we can easily find the edges of the boundary. So these are the helpful feature of the drone. So the process of utilization of the UAS for photogrammetry involves several key steps like the data acquisition, determination of project parameters, and flight planning. So this is followed by an autonomous photogrammetric flight and quality check of the data. The subsequent data processing include aerial triangulation, image orientation, model delineation, and vector data collection. So these are the exact principles and parameters. So many UAS used for photogrammetric imaging and are equipped with non-metric cameras. So it is essential to precise determine and all the interior camera parameters such as focal length, that is a very important, like the focal length, principal point, coordinates, to model the lens distortion as well. So like when we have an actual position, orientation, and we are able to identify the overlap of the images, that is very important, like we have to go with the overlap of the images. So there is no data can be missed. So this line is a crucial detecting the overlapping point of the two images. So how we are going to collect the data with the different sensor on board UAV. So the real power of the drones does not come like how they fly. It comes from the sensors they carry. Okay, so these you can see in this image the RGB camera that we have. The first is RGB camera. So this they are standard cameras similar to the what we use in everyday life, but when combined with the AI, they become powerful tools for weed and pest detection. By training models on crop images, the system can automatically identify invasive weeds and pest infesticide patches. And then the second is the thermal camera, and the black one is thermal camera. So these sensors, the thermal sensor, capture the high heat signature instead of the visible light. So in agriculture, they are especially useful for irrigation management. For example, thermal imagery can quickly faulty irrigation can identify with the thermal images. Then this red one is for the multispectral MicaSense camera. So this that we already discussed, that we have a multi-band like the 5 bands RGB along with the infrared, near infrared, and reddish. Then the last one, the below one, the LiDAR or light detection and ranging camera sensors. So these uses laser pulses to create detailed 3D maps. So you can see that we are having the LiDAR and we are able to the tree height, we are able to calculate the tree height. So this RGB sensors gives us what the eye can see. Thermal sensors reveal the hidden water stress. Multispectral sensors measure the plant health at a deeper level, and the LiDAR sensor gives us a structural information about the fields and the tree. So together, like we have all these makes drone just not flying machine, but intelligence for the farmers in the field laboratories. So the multispectral bands, I think you all know about this, like the RGB, the range, and the how we are going to use with these bands. These are the hyperspectral camera. So these are the hyperspectral sensors. So with help of vegetation studies, soil science, geology, and hydrology. So if we are going to collect the data, so we have a one software or some ground control station operator is required. So once a UAV assembled and ready for operations, so the next step is to plan the flight and execute the operation or the mission. So efficient flight planning ensure that the drones collect the required data accurately, safely, and within optimal range. So these are the some drone flight mission planning. So DJI GS Pro, drone deploy, Pix4D capture, mission planners, QC ground control. So these are the some software control. So with the help of selecting the right flight planning software depends on the UAV type, mission complexity, and desired data output. So these are the automated mission planner. So if we are going to, so you can see in the Pix4D capture, so we just prepare our different point where we want to fly the drone. And you can see there is some manual design is there with some points. So our drone will fly in this area only. So that is a geofencing. These are the steps that we have to successful we have to go with the objective. So first we define the objective, what is our clear objective, then site survey and software selections, area of interest, flight paths, and then mission simulation. So these are the operation that we have to follow in the UAV flight planning. So when you have collected the data, so if you are getting the image of RGB, so it is looking like this. The upper image is RGB images after the data collection. When you have a thermal imagery, so you can see the raw image of the thermal data. Then you have a multispectral, this grayscale image. So you are getting a multispectral data like this. When we have a 3D point cloud as well, so LiDAR data we are having. So with the help of this data, we can create the digital elevation model as well. DEM, DSM, DTM, that can be possible with this. So that is a very important task. So on the side, when we are going to collect the data, so these type of raw images will capture by the drone. After the data collection, we have to go with the correction, radiometric correction, image stitching, mosaicing, and we have to generate the orthomosaic images. So that is like how we are going to collect the data and analyze the data. So after the data collection, so these are the small images you are getting these small images. After the small images, we are able this combine orthomosaic image. So this orthomosaic image will help you to apply some operation, like you have to calculate the index as well. So pre-processing, so these are the softwares that we have to, if you want, you can use these softwares for the pre-processing. So the overall UAV several advantages, including real-time data availability, low cost of data, high spatial, temporal, and spectral resolution, accurate biophysical parameters, and they can integrate various sensors for diverse functionalities and safer to operate. And they are also capture the images at low and high altitude both. And there is no cloud interference in that the data time of data collection. So the applications of UAVs are originally designed for recreational use, have recently been adopted for filming social event. However, challenges remain, including non-vertical photography, irregular stereoscopy, and limitation related to the use of small focal length cameras. So the UAV is rapidly becoming a fast and efficient mode of surveillance due to their affordability and increasing across private, institutional, and government sectors. So, like how we are going to the qualitative application, the aerial photogrammetry, real creational, FPV, search and rescue, security and surveillance, so that we are using for the UAV. And these are the applications. Our government is also using this UAV data set. So the Manrega faces challenges in measuring the impact of its infrastructure on the poorest, monitoring progress and the quality of works. So, and applying the accurate data for planning and design. So UAV technology offer a cost-effective solution for monitoring the evaluating Manrega projects, potentially enhancing the effectiveness of the 376 billion per annum investment and improving contribution to economic development, poverty reduction, and climate resilience. So our government is also using this technology. UAV can be used measuring the number of potholes on a roadway using a UAV images can help the road managers quickly identify and prioritize to need the maintenance. So that can be possible with the UAV survey. UAV can effectively monitoring road construction, ensuring that compliance of the central guidelines for rural roads. They offer benefits in construction progress, tracking, road assets management, feasibility. So in India, the especially locally developed UAVs remains largely unexplored. UAV also the railway surveillance system UAVs are using. So in this, you can see the UAV applications significant interest of the cultural heritage. This is a building of IIT Roorkee. It's a 176-year-old building. So we collected the data from the RGB camera and we generated the point cloud. So you can see the left image is point cloud. It's a 3D image and the right side is your 2D image. So we have this like if we want to calculate the height, so we can easily measure the height from the left side image. So these are the possibilities just because of the UAV images. Railway track detection, that is also possible with the UAV. So wind turbine inspection. So that the inspection of UAV by the bridges. So that is also like we are using right now the UAV is everywhere. Everywhere we are using like the marine. So effectively, they are inspecting the structure, providing precise imaging, expert analysis to predict the operational changes, safety issues, and the structural problem before the arise. So that is a main benefit of the UAV. Why we are going with the UAV. So this slide is you can see the how the every applications based on the UAV. And there is a one study on the collapse of an pond in there is a one Katikela village revealed that approximately 42.24 lakh metric tons of ash flowed in the river. So Bhedan River. So that is also possible, the measurement just because of the UAV. So this calculation is done by the data of the UAV. So you can see how we are going to use of the UAV. So the agriculture, we are going to crop scout, crop loss, the pesticides and fungi detection, monitor livestock, irrigation, pesticide mapping. So that is, these are the applications. Crop health monitoring, we are using the UAV, the NDVI, SAVI sensors, soil and field analysis, create a 3D map for early soil analysis, irrigation monitoring, so they can help to irrigation practices and effectiveness. Plant stress monitoring, UAV can stress the plant, which can be indicate potential issue. Drought assessment, the impact of the drought in the condition in the crops. Phenology, how the growth stage of the UAV by using the 3D point cloud. And the crop insurance. So this Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana is using this crop insurance policy by the data UAV. So UAV initially used in the military as well, and now transforming precision agriculture. Their adaptation among farmers is increasingly they provide the cost-effective aerial camera platform to monitor the crops. With the global population and agriculture consumption on the rise, drones offer numerous benefits, but also come with pros and cons. Is also there. So UAV remote sensing system can automatically monitor large crop area. So that we already discussed. The multispectral camera. So there is a one Parrot Seeker and the multispectral MegaSense camera. So if we are interested some like the NDVI normalized difference vegetation index. So we have a red band, we have a green band, an IR band, the blue band. So we can calculate the different indexes as well. The remote sensing index we can calculate with this. So the bottleneck is this, the payload capacity. There may we have to go with the specific payload capacity with this. Legal constraints. If you are not a researcher, there may be some legal constraint. How we are going to fly, in which zone you are going to fly. There is a red zone, there is a yellow zone, or there is a green zone. You are a researcher, you are like commercialization. So that is a very important part. The legal constraints required. The weather condition, the some rules that is generated by the Civil Authority of India, and the flight time, like the endurance, like how many batteries you are having. So based on the data collection, there is a one study, the intelligent system for crop identification and classification from UAV RGB images. So artificial intelligence that we already discussed in the previous slide, all you know that it is something that we have dreamed as far back as 1950s and the possibly even earlier, but today AI is embedded into our everyday lives. So artificial intelligence having a various application in today's society. So it has become very essential for every purpose. So AI is making our daily life more comfortable and fast. So how the artificial intelligence used in agriculture? So automated farming activities, managing crop quality, identification of pest and disease outbreak before occurrence, monitoring abiotic factors and stress, AI-enabled drought in insect and pesticide spray, machine vision systems and phenotyping lead to adjustment. So that can be possible with the uh, artificial intelligence based machine learning and deep learning model. So what is the need, like from the continued development in the agriculture sectors? Government of India started just a second. I'm just so you can see this the major national level programs. So just because of the like we have a national mission for sustainable agriculture, these are the basic or most important programs that we need to consider when we are talking about the precision agriculture, sustainable agriculture. So these are the different program. So you can see in this Kisan project. In this Kisan project, the space technology like UAV, along with the GPS, GIS, and the smartphone, for improvement of crop cutting experiment, planning, and yield estimation. Nadam for drought assessment, Chaman for horticulture. So these are the major national level programs by the Indian government. So agriculture, we can say it's a livelihood of approx 58% of India population. Therefore, the future of sustainable agriculture growth, food security, and livelihood in India depends on the performance of small and marginal farmers. And the main thing is the natural and the man-made disaster challenge the agricultural production every year. The future of agriculture is an important question for the planners, like the public manager, government planners. So the main objective is like how we are going to develop a cost-effective solution with the help of UAV, with the help of AI, with the help of ML and DL model. So, like the agriculture sector is undergoing a transformation driven by a new technology which seem to a promising factor. So, as the important part is data, that if we have the data, then we can make a solution. So the data collection can be done using the mobile, satellite, drone, whatever platform you are having. You can use the sensor, you can use the platform and collect the data. And the most important is the high resolution. The quality data is high resolution, then we can get more information. We are able to extract the more information from the data. So the high resolution, it means we have a drone images. So this like drone that we already discussed in the previous slide. So as I told you that there is a study for crop identification is classification. So with the help of crop identification, the government and the agriculture manager require the information of the spatial distribution of area, like how many crops are cultivated, how many areas cultivated. So seeing the increasing population of the world, it is can be estimated by the 2050 the production of the crops will have to be doubled. So that is a very important challenge and we have to face after some time. Okay, so it means if we want to find out the how many crops, different types of crops, crop wise area, how many areas, how many crops. So that is the main. So the crop identification and classification is required. A single tool for identifying multiple crops with same technology is helpful. So further agriculture land are stretched all over the world in India. So we are not having a single farming. We are having a small and fragmented land holdings. Okay, someone is sowing the wheat, in the second parcel he is having a rice, and like this. So we have a mixed pixel problem, the mixed crop problem. So that is a very important part. Like we have a high resolution camera that we can easily identify. Otherwise, it's very difficult to identify the different crops and the total area of that crops. So to solve or to serve the above bottleneck, we have to propose a one automatic solution by the help of algorithm to identify or classify the multiple crops in a single go. So what we are going to do, if we are using a UAV, the crop data is acquisition, the first important part, and because of the high resolution, so we have to covering a large crop area. The benefits are drone, we are having a large scale and there is no need of the cloud and all, so we can easily collect the data. And very basic training, no human intervention is required. If someone is able to operate the mobile, he can also operate the mission planners. Data collection is easy, those who are just going one or two times for the demonstration of the data collection. And there is no crop damage because we are not going to the physical in the ground. We are just taking the picture from the remote. So we can anywhere we can sit and we can stand and we are taking the picture. So these are the benefits of UAV. So like what we are discussed in the previous slide, we have a RGB camera, we have a multispectral camera, we have a hyperspectral camera. But you know, in the RGB we have 3 band, in multispectral we have 5 band, and hyperspectral we have 100 of bands. So if we want to process these bands, then we are able to capture the images, we are able to classify the image. So I am choosing the RGB because we have only 3 red, green and blue. On the basis of RGB, we are able to identify the multiple crops and the area as well. So the previous technology, like we have machine learning, like bi-level classification, deep learning, or some other algorithm is there, but they are doing most of the time the binary classification, like wheat or non-wheat, the kind of this binary classification they are doing. So we are going to propose like a CNN architecture for multiple crop identification and simultaneously. So as you know, this the plain learning, how we are going to plane residual learning, and the dense learning. So in dense learning, like the previous input and output will merge as a next input. So this is a dense learning that we are having. So just because of this, like sometimes suppose we are skipping features in the residual learning, so there may be one possibility some most important feature can be missed. So then we are going with the dense learning. So it means they will increase the time as well. So in dense learning, we are just proposing a one new architecture. So with this, the convolution layer, and we are going to classify the multiple crops in the simultaneous nature. So you can see we use this DJI Phantom 4 Pro version 2 UAV for data collection. This is my flight planning screenshot. So I have collected the data. So we use the flight planning. So in the flight planning, like the area of selection, area of interest, then the flying height, how much, like 100 meter, 200 meter, 300 meter, and then camera angle, 90-degree camera, 60 degrees, that we have to decide with the gimbal, and the front and side overlap. That is very important, like how we are going to capture the image. So there is no possibility to, like, we are able to catch every small information from the ground. So this overlapping is also required. These are the images that we captured from the different area of this India, like some related to the sugarcane, wheat, beans, Napier grass, and the rice. So these are some demo images that we already collected from this RGB Phantom 4 drone sponsored by the DJI. These are the crop identification process. So the first is data collection. Second is the candidate crop region extraction. Like we have an image, in image we have a mixed pixel. Like we have some rice, and along with the rice we have a vegetable, some open land. So you can see in this image we have some mixed pixel problem. But our interest is the candidate crop. We are interested in the sugarcane, we are interested in the wheat, we are interested in the rice. So that we need to extract the candidate crop from the raw images. So when we captured the images using the UAV, so we get the images in the form of 5472 into 3648 pixels. That is a very high resolution images, so the pixel value is very high. Then we extract the candidate crop from this using the Python. Now the size of the images, we use the 342 into 342 for the deep learning model. So now the third is we have to establish a CDCNN or deep learning model. So convolution neural network, you know all, and Dr. Shobha has already discussed about the CNN and all other learning mechanism. So I'm not going into the deep. So just like we have some overview, the input CNN, we have the candidate crop regions like this. Okay, so you can see CNN, we have four operations in the CNN: convolution, max pooling, flattening, and the last is classification. So in convolution layer, the filters are used to extract the feature from the input images. You can see this is our convolution. So we are giving the input, this red, green, blue, you can see. And then we have a filter, then filter will apply on the images, and there is a new confusion matrix. Sorry, this matrix is generated by the pixel value, and the filter will overlap with the small elements in the images and perform the convolution operation. As an output from these convolution operation, can you convolve feature map? Max pooling operation will reduce the size of the convolved feature map. In the max pooling, small elements are selected in the convolved feature and the maximum value within the region. So the max pooling is used to reduce the computation task, and ultimately the flattening converts all the element as a single column vector, that ANN will assign the proper weights for accurate classification, and if any misclassification occur, then update the weights to enhance the accuracy in the training process. So this is the overall CNN, how the CNN is working. You can see. So this is the overall architecture for this study. So you can see the here R0, R1, R2 or RL minus 1. These are the feature map concatenation of layer 0, 1 and L minus 1. FL is the composite function. This is the dense block architecture used for the crop identification. You can see, notice that both the input and the output, you can see in the red line and the blue line. So the input and output of all previous layers are considered as an input to the next layer. Okay, so that is a dense. And these dense block contains a function which performs a batch normalization, convolution on the input data. So, however, dealing with these large digit, we have to normalization, the batch normalization that we already discussed. Now each convolution layer is having a own activation function. So I think you all heard about the ReLU, SHALU. Okay, so generally ReLU and SHALU activation function are used, where ReLU makes the negative values to the 0 and SHALU modifies the negative values, but none of them changes the higher values or the values above the 255. So in this work, we there is a one new activation function named SL-ReLU. So softmax logarithmic rectified linear unit that we use, the SL-ReLU, is used by merging soft sign ReLU and logarithmic function. So soft sign modify the negative values, ReLU keeps the positive values proper till 0 to 255, and logarithmic function changes the values above 255. So this is the overall architecture that we are using for the convolution network for crop classification. So in this, the internal diagram, like we have a two dense block, between them one conversion block. You can see the dull green. So there is a one conversion block. The previous layer input and the output is merged as an input to the next layer with the help of the concatenation operation. And after the operation of dense block 1, the max pooling is performed in the conversion block to reduce the size of the feature map, and that will speed the training process. So after the dense block 2, the output is passed through the SL ReLU. Again, eliminate the unwanted values, and finally the softmax function is to allot the probability to each values, and corresponding class can be as a classification. So an image will be classified as a particular class. So in this we have total 2000 image for each class. So we have 5 type of crop. So total data size is 10,000, and so we have divided 1400 images and 600 images for training and testing from each segment. The efficacy parameters, after the calculation of efficacy parameters, we are able to generate this confusion matrix. So you can see the 600 confusion matrix. So we compared with all the machine learning and deep learning model, the random forest 200s, SIFT, SVM, AlexNet, VGG16, VGG19, ResNet 50, dense CNN, and last one is CDCN, the last bottom, CDCN, which is developed by us. So you can see all the result in the diagonal. So in the CDCNN, we are getting the highest confusion matrix classification accuracy. So these are the class-wise or overall accuracy with the standard machine learning CNN and dense CNN architecture. So you can see how the dense CDCNN architecture giving the highest accuracy with F1 score, and it is class-wise and the overall accuracy as well. So this bold black, you can see the highest accuracy. From the upper figure shows the training process for different CNN architecture. It has been like the training process tables and rolling iteration, like how number of epochs we are increasing, and the accuracy is also increased. So training on AlexNet and VGGNet, you can see in the yellow and the violet line, the AlexNet and VGGNet, the 16 VGG16 are slow compared to others. So it is noted that after attending the stability fluctuation in the training accuracy is more as per the CDCNN. So we can see in the, so we also compare the CDCNN architecture to 3 dense block. So you can see in the left side below table, the accuracy in the blue is having the highest accuracy with the time as well. Then we applied the ReLU and SeLU architecture or activation function with our CDCNN architecture. So the accuracy, you can see the new activation function SL ReLU. You can see the highest accuracy, the 96.20, the overall accuracy with F1 score 96.19. So these are the like how this CDCNN architectures play an important role for multiple crop identification and classification. And we compared with this the epoch based function. So you can see in the figure the testing accuracy is best for the SL ReLU activation function. Training process is also less fluctuated and remains stable for SL ReLU. So in view with the aim of crop identification and classification, we have a high resolution images for collected different croplands, a new CNN architecture named as a conjugated dense convolution neural network, along with the new activation function, the soft SL ReLU. So the training time is significantly lesser and the accuracy is higher. So multiple crop identification can be done with the UAV RGB images in a single go. So if somebody is not able to, like they are very new in the processing of UAV data, but they are familiar with the website. So here I developed one UAV image processing website or the WebGIS portal, you can see. So I think it's not working. Okay, so it is again, there is some problem with the video playing. So the emerging trends, building on the discussion about the UAV and agriculture, AI, like crop identification and classification. Some are other emerging trends in the UAV and AI for agriculture. Like we have swarm drones, involve multiple drones, UAV working together. I think you people have seen the drone show where multiple drones are making some alphabet ABCD or something like this. The as per the institute name. So that is a one possibility with the, I think I have time. Yes. So so this these are the different trends with the AI and UAV. And if you want to start work on the data set, so you can use these freely available data set on the GitHub and other UAV data set. You can directly download. These are the openly available. You have to cite only them. And the repository is also there. So those who are looking for the career, so they can become as a precision agriculture analyst, UAV scientist. And these are different opportunity that we can do. The research theme, the AI for crop phenotyping, explainable AI, XAI in agriculture, UAV, IoT fusion, soil, water. So these are the different career and research objective that you can decide. So if you want to start, so start with the basic, learn the UAV flight planning and how we are going to fly the UAV. Then collaborate with the agronomist, drone pilot, local farmers, and the EI team. So that can be one possibilities. So in this, I just conclude the future of the precision agriculture is defined by the convergence of the UAV, AI, different IoT and cloud farming, integrated like decision support system. So the availability of the open source tools and data set now lowers barriers to entry, allowing students, researcher, and startups to rapidly prototype and deploy the solution. So remember that the starting with a small and local experiment such as a simple or a small UAV for basic AI models can scale into the meaningful data-driven agriculture solution. So suppose we are interested to go beyond the literature with the AI, UAV, and other segments, we have to go with some different orientation. Suppose somebody is interested in precision agriculture, so they can do with that. Suppose someone is interested in AI based monitoring. Suppose someone is interested like the drone pilot, so they can very easily they can move. There is no need hard and fast. So I think most of the people are able to understand how we are going with the UAV segments and what is the important that we need to discuss in this. So if I am just asking you, as I here you can see that I have some this four things that is very important right now. If somebody is thinking about the drones, somebody is thinking about the AI and the UAVs, suppose what we are doing now, we are just collecting the data from the UAV and then processing them in our system. Okay, so that is a very manual task. But what is our blue sky thinking? We want the onboard processing, right? Onboard processing, it means there is a one system that is called the processing system on the UAV itself. There is no need to capture the data and take it in our system, and then we are going to develop that solution. I think someone is.
Sir, please mute.
So, yes. So suppose someone is interested in to process the data on board itself. So that is called the Edge AI. Okay. So Edge AI, it means we have a one processor. So the processor can be a Raspberry Pi or can be a Jetson as well. So the images of the drone is very high resolution. Okay. So if the image is very high resolution, that means it will require a more processing equipments. So with the help of Raspberry Pi, it is very difficult. So then we need to move to the Jetson Nano. So there is a two version of the Jetson. There is a one is Jetson Nano, another one is Jetson Xavier. So what is the helpful for the Jetson Nano and Xavier? So when you have suppose this Jetson Nano, so you can do just make a one drone, assemble a one camera on that, and along with the Jetson Nano, and just give him the autonomous flight planning. So what you have to do, you just going to on your laptop. Now your laptop working as a ground control station, and with the help of your flight planning, which is developed by you with the help of Python. So those who are very familiar with the Raspberry Pi, they know how to operate the Raspberry Pi by implementing the Python programming as well. So it is similar to the Jetson as well. So what we have to do, we have to develop a one code on that Jetson Nano, and we are going to execute that Jetson Nano code. When our UAV in the sky, he will capturing the image and then processing as well. So that is called the feature as a Edge AI. So that is come in the picture with the real-time processing. So like we have a UAV data along with the near real-time data processing. So suppose there is some area, there is some diseases there. So what we can do, there is no need to collect the data and process in your system. The UAV will directly go in the agriculture field. It will collect the data and give some processing. After the processing, it will send the alarm to our cloud or somewhere in application. So that is a concept of AI. So right now, those who are working in the IoT sector, so they are trying to do the same things. So their interest is like they are going with the blockchain technology. So like how they are collecting the data, they are processing the data and generating the result. There is no need to the human intervention. All the things are remotely. We are just getting the result, the final result, what is happening in the sky. So that is our Edge AI. The swarm drones, another example of the swarm drones, like we have multiple drones and we have to fly in the same way. So suppose those who are very interactive with the drone show, they can understand very easily. So and the nano and micro UAV, so the main thing is that we have the UAV, we have this scale UAV that I also discussed with you, this like this. So the thing is that this type of UAV, this is also a very small UAV. But if we have to go with the higher altitude, like we have to go with the like 1,000 meter above the above the sea level. So these type of drone will get instability just because of some GPS loss will be there. There may be some extra air, some different atmospheric platform will come in the picture. So these small or nano or micro UAV will help to resolve this issue. They can easily move in the sky, so they can use different like mechanism in the, like we have to use the carbon fiber. They can use another material that can be a durable in the highest peak of the height. So that is like these are the four things that is very important nowadays. Everyone is talking about like the swarm AI, the edge AI. So this is a very important part, like how we are going to easily identifying the weed. So as you see that the spray. So suppose you want to spray some fertilizer or some water as well, irrigation as well. So if you are going with the manual, so what you will do, you will just use a one tape and try to irrigate all the area of the field. But with the help of Edge AI, what we will do, we will train a one model on that particular Jetson Nano or Raspberry Pi, and with that we have a one program, the deep learning program. So first the deep learning program, what will do, it will start the data collection. Okay, after the data collection, what it will do, after the data collection, it will process the data and find the stress of the water from the crop. So suppose there is some stressed crop, there may be some stressed crop in the there is some stress with the water, so they will process real time. And if the particular area is stressed with the water, so they will irrigate that particular area, not the entire area. So that is helpful with the Edge AI. So that is the main concept of Edge AI, that is talking about the precision agriculture, the right amount, right time, right place. So that is just because of the Edge AI. So this Edge AI will help. And the swarm drones. So the swarm drones, if we are talking about the agriculture, so suppose we have 4 farms, and 4 farms is working in the same area, but I have to identify which farm is having a stress, water stress, some nutrients deficiency, phosphorus, potassium, soil health. That can be considerable. We have to, suppose if we have to go find out the health of the soil. So what we can do, we can fly the UAV in the entire area. So 4 and 5 drones are flying simultaneously with the single remote. Only single instruction they are having, and they are moving in the entire area, and they are collecting the result and sending the alarm. The one UAV is deciding this, second UAV is deciding this. So just because of this, we are having the sufficient area and we are expertise that this area is very difficult. Okay, so that we need some water, some pesticide, that can be possible. So with this SWARM, Edge AI, nano and micro UAV, synthetic data, so this is a very important task. And those who are interested to work in the form of data collection, but they don't have drone, but they are interested to do the drone processing, data processing. So I told you that this, I don't know why it is not playing. I developed this UAV image processing web portal where you just need to upload the photos. There is no need to understand like what is GIS, what is remote sensing, how to calculate the NDVI, how to calculate the SAVI, soil adjusted vegetation index. You just need to upload the images which is collected by you, or you have to download somewhere else, and then just upload on our server. Our server will process and generate you the result. So if you want to calculate the index as well, so that can be possible with this. So these are the data set. That is very important part, like how you are going to achieve the data set, because without data you cannot do anything. So data set is very important. So I think most of the people know about how to capture the data set, but the main thing is that sometimes if we are going with the deep learning, machine learning model, there may be some augmentation as well also there. Suppose we have 100 images and the 100 images is not sufficient for the deep learning model. So what I will do, I will apply some augmentation technique and then generate the data. So this data can be uploaded in these type of repository. So this repository, there may be some real or some false data as well. So the data pre-processing is required, like the data is sufficient, data is having the information. Suppose just we are going to find out the features from the data, but there is nothing information on that particular data. So that is also waste of our time and the processing as well. So the data is very important part. So these are the repository that you can download the data, and according to your interest. So then they are providing the data along with what they have performed in that way. So suppose they have some disease identification, some root identification, and soil health index. So they already have some model as well. So those who are interested, they can download the data, they can download the model as well, and then apply in that system, and they are directly getting the results. So these are the data sets. So some Casio, Coca, and coffee images. So with this, you are going to banana UAV, so multispectral reflectance that I discussed. Somebody is interested the RGB, somebody is interested the multispectral, somebody is interested the hyperspectral, but it depends on the application. Suppose you are interested on the classification, then why we are going with the process of the 100 or 200 samples. There is only three bands is there, so RGB band we can process and analyze the result. So that is another one possibilities. And the second thing is that if you have, just a minute. Yes, Raju sir, something is.
Yes, anybody, I think.
Yes, if anyone having the question, please ask.
So now you can ask question, but before this, it is requested to all participants, please switch on your camera so we can click some pictures. And it's a question and answer round. If somebody wants to ask any questions, they can raise hand. So there is one question from Mr. Adarsh Chaudhary in chat box. How UAV is different from drones?
UAV and drones is having a different orientation. Like if you are going with the imaging, capturing, and survey, so that is a UAV. And if you are having only the photography, that is a drone. Okay.
Anybody else? If anybody wants to ask question, please raise a hand. It is requested to all participants, please switch on your camera. If is there anybody who wants to ask question?
I would like to ask a question.
Your voice is not coming to me.
Okay, there is another question in chat box, sir.
Which AI tools and softwares are most suitable for teaching UAI data analysis?
UAI, there is a one Hugging Face software, okay, that you can use for the UAV based solution. That I also displayed in our this presentation. The second last slide is there. So you can directly use that data set and tool as well. And there is a one drone deploy. There is a one drone deploy. So you can get a 30 days the free license to develop any AI solution on the basis of the images.
So, what are the
Okay.
potential research gaps in integrating UAV data with ground sensors and satellite images and weather models?
Suppose if you are going with the data set, so the main thing is the communication. Okay, so if the communication is in the same way, so in the drone we have the telemetry and we are getting the data on with the help of telemetry in the form of image, and if we have the sensors, so this fusion is there may be a one bottleneck. The fusion is required. How to handle challenges like changing movement levers, real-time field imaging. Yes, so if like you have a lighting condition, there may be a rare chance if you are going above the 200-meter flight zone. Otherwise, 100-meter, there is no effect on the light with the help of UAV images because they are having the sensors, the FOV of the sensor and the camera angle of the sensor can manage this. But there may be a one possibility, there may be a some darkest point, then we have to resolve by the some calibration, radiometric calibration. So these are the photogrammetry techniques that we need to apply. Is there any free software? Yes, I told you that it is not a free, but it is 30 days license for your student purpose. Like you have to clean the data and transforming that. So that is a drone deploy.
Thank you for your answer, sir. Have a nice day. And thank you for the very nice session.
Thank you.
Okay. I request, it is requested to all participants, please switch on your camera so we can click pictures. Thank you, sir, for your detailed information on UAV, a game changer in agriculture. To propose vote of thanks, I invite Dean Research and Development Cell, Dr. Manoj Narvaria. Sir, please.
It is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks for this highly insightful session. On behalf of the organizing committee, I, Dr. Manoj Narvaria, extend our sincere gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Dr. Akshay Pandey from IITDM Jabalpur. Dr. Pandey, your engaging presentation on UAV, a game changer in agriculture, was extremely relevant and added immense practical value to our FDP. It perfectly reflected the core theme of FDP by illustrating the transformative role of drone technology in the modern farming. The knowledge shared on UAV application will inspire our participants in their research and development activities in the domain of smart agriculture. His deep insights into UAV technology, their application in precision farming, and their potential to transform crop monitoring and resource management have greatly enriched today's learning experience. The clarity of his explanation and the practical examples here have offered valuable knowledge to all participants. Finally, a big thank you to all the participants for all active presence and thoughtful interaction. Thank you once again, Dr. Pandey. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Akshay Pandey, sir, for delivering such insightful session. I'm very sure that participants greatly benefited from your lecture. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. The feedback link will be given at the end of the program in chat box and WhatsApp group. Please fill and submit it by tonight. It is mandatory for all participants to submit feedback for the attendance purpose, otherwise you will be considered absent. Thank you all participants. Hope you enjoyed the today's session. The third session will be started at 6 p.m. on tomorrow. I request to all please be present 10 minutes prior. Thank you all. Good night.
Good night, ma'am. Good night, all. Thank you for joining the sessions.
Yes, good night, sir. Good night, ma'am.
Good night, sir.
Yes, good night.
Sushil sir.